It's Fully Threaded Radio, episode 204.
All right, I'm over here with
Marcel Goebel, the president from Goebel Fasteners.
And he's going to tell me about the new place that you guys are opening up.
Yeah, the new place is in Germany, so we did a big reshoring process now. So we invested a lot of money to come up like a manufacturer in Germany, and yeah, that is what we're doing now. Yeah.
How's the show been?
The show is pretty well. It's going pretty well. So we had a lot of new contacts and existing contacts, and looking forwards.
What was the hardest thing about opening up the new building?
The hardest part, I guess, we have a lot of regulations that you must pass, especially with insurance or with, we say, solar stuff and so on, or find the right supplier for the wire, for the toolings, machinery, workers. So that's tough. It's tough, but we passed that.
Is it the first time you're opening up a new building?
Yes, it is. It is, absolutely. So we invested a lot in new production halls. We refurbished everything. We refurbished machineries. So everything was with process control. So it's Goebel 4.0.
So if you had to do it again, you get bigger and you need to do it again.
That's our plan. It's already in the pipeline. So it seems like that we will have a lot of success. We got promising customers on board for that. So they love what we're doing. And I think we need to order a couple of containers, more machineries. It's coming very soon.
That's good. That's a good problem to have.
Absolutely. Looking forward. Yeah.
Okay, super. It's time for Fully Threaded Radio.
It is Fully Threaded Radio, voice of the FCH Sourcing Network. If you buy, sell, manufacture, import, think about frequently industrial threaded fasteners, well, this is the predominantly fastener-related podcast you've been looking for. Hi, everyone. Eric Dudas with you. And I'm joined, as always, by the hardest working man in the online fastener game, just back from distributing boxes of FCH pens out there in Vegas. It's Brian Musker. How you doing, Bri?
I'm good, thanks. Yeah, I did. I was watching the pens, and I can always tell when someone sneaks past and tries to take more than one for someone who isn't even faintly interested in Fasteners Clearinghouse.
Well, together we managed to saw through that giant box of them, so that was pretty good. And what we're talking about here, folks, is the International Fastener Expo just took place in Vegas. That's the big annual National Fastener Show. And we just returned. We're going to go wall to wall with that today on this episode 204 of Fully Threaded Radio. We're publishing this time, hopefully, September 19th, 2024. Boy, that sounds weird, but it's true. The show was quite early this year, Bri, wasn't it? We've had it in October and I think maybe even November once, but this time way early in September. What'd you think of that?
Yes, I'm not sure I like it quite so early, truthfully. I mean, it sort of stacks a few things up against each other, and you have to sort of have a little bit of time to decompress and then get some of the things out of the way that writing to work. But that's just probably bitching, okay?
Well, I think others share your view on that. That's an endless conversation, though, coming right off of the MWFA Fastener Week, especially, and jumping right into that. But we do the best we can, and it's work after all, so we all slogged out there. And we're going to talk about it today, and we've got two pretty good sound packages. The lovely and talented Lynn Dempsey was out there in the show floor gathering words of wisdom from across the industry. And along with us today, as we comment and look back on this year's IFE, it'll be the amazing Shan. It's Don Shan with Fastener Solutions Group. Or is it Fastener Solution, Bri? I can never get those S's placed right. He'll be on with us soon to answer that.
Oh, no, I think he has the S. Oh, we both have S's, okay. Ours gets dropped off, though.
Yeah, well, it's always a challenge for us in that department.
Yeah.
On the Fastener News Report today, Mike McNulty's got Earnest CEO Kirk Zehnder, They're going to look over the latest, very exciting FDI. This came out right before we headed off to Vegas, Bri.
Yeah.
And a lot of people saw it, and the number shot way back north of 50, which is good. However, offsetting that is a much less optimistic forward-looking indicator. Kirk and Mike are going to talk about that.
Right, which people regard as much more realistic, okay?
Mm-hmm. Also, newly inducted Hall of Famer Carmen Vertullo has the Fastener Training Minute for us today. He's going to take us into the future. He just returned from an IFI conference that dealt with some space-age materials that he's hoping are going to be introduced into the fastener industry very soon. And he has that Carmen way of presenting it, so it'll be very informative.
Good.
So it's really a pretty tight show today, but I think it's going to go long, so we're not going to spend too much time warming it up here, Bri. We're going to jump into our first break fairly quickly. But first, there's an important lineup of partners that help us make this show possible. And Bri, that's your area.
Right. And most of these, if not all of these, we saw at the show in Las Vegas. These are our sponsors. We're very lucky to have sponsors, and we're really even more lucky to have them as great friends, okay, that we've known over the years. So our sponsors are people you can rely on too. And if you think of fasteners, you should try and think of these sponsors first because they make this show possible, okay? The title sponsors are Fully Threaded Radio, Brighton Best International, Goebel Fasteners, and Star Stainless Screw Company. Brighton Best International, tested, tried, and true. Goebel Fasteners, quality the first time. Star Stainless Screw Company, right off the shelf. Also sponsoring Fully Threaded Radio are Buckeye Fasteners, BTM Manufacturing, Eurolink Fastener Supply Service, InSequel Software, J-Land Franco, 3Q Inc., Volt Industrial Plastics, Worth Industry North America, and Solution Industries, home of Solution Man.
Thank you, sir. Reach out to us anytime. We'd be glad to hear from you, whether you have feedback on today's show or the podcast in general, or if you just want to give us your impressions of what went down at this year's IFE. Maybe you really like having no carpet. Who knows? Let us know. The email address is ftr@fullythreaded.com. Brian and I also get out to LinkedIn occasionally, so connect with us that way too if you want to. Hey, as we said, the amazing Shan will be with us riding shotgun to talk about this year's Vegas. We're going to break right now and make a lot of room for the sound we've got for you and some commentary. I know you're going to really enjoy it. So we're going to plug in a couple messages here, then we'll be back to put a wrench to this one. It's Fully Threaded.
Radio.
2 men, 1 server, a fastener dog, and a stunning lack of more lucrative alternatives. It's Fully Threaded Radio.
With Star Stainless, our personalized service and nationwide network of distribution centers allows you to order rivets, hose clamps, and fasteners from one source. Star continues to be your one-stop shop to consolidate vendors, reduce transactions, and save on shipping costs. Choose Star Stainless for a comprehensive inventory that meets all your hardware needs. Star Stainless Screw Company is a division of Linfast Solutions Group.
Goebel Fasteners has launched a brand new line of high-strength structural blind rivets that are used in heavy truck and trailer, railroad, solar, metal building construction, and other industries that require a vibration-resistant fastener for strong, long-lasting installations. Available in steel, stainless steel, and aluminium ranging from 3 by 16-inch diameter up to 3 by 8-inch diameter, these structural rivets are a solid solution for a variety of applications. Goebel Fasteners, the leading rivet source.
Brighton Best International provides a range of educational videos on the BBI website. These videos cover various topics related to fasteners and other industrial products. There, you will learn the overview and usage of Tack King concrete screw anchors, structural bolting products, stainless steel, web navigation, how-to videos, and product reviews. Learn more at brightonbest.com and feel free to visit the video page for more details.
Hi, this is Scott Camp from Atlas Distribution Services, and you're listening to Fully Threaded Radio.
Brian and Eric back with you and back from Vegas.
Yes.
Had a lot of fun this year putting together Lynn's floor interviews. Actually, you appear this time, Bri. You make a cameo, which was nice.
Yeah, it's I think it might be the first time I've ever done that.
Well, in a long time for sure. And I also did a vignette with Larry Stevens, CEO of Worth. It was really great to meet him finally in person there. We've communicated via email and stuff, but it was really nice. So that's in today's montages as well. And joining us to talk about what happened and reactions, thoughts, comments, it's the amazing Shan. Hey, brother.
How are you?
We're good, thanks.
Safe travels. Everybody made it back safely.
Yeah, it looked a bit dicey at one stage when the airport started shutting down because of the smoke. So
that was crazy.
Yeah,
it was a little different. The first time I've ever seen something like that.
Yeah, when we looked out the window ready to start the day with our cup of coffee, I thought, oh shit, it's foggy. And then I realized you can't possibly be fog. This is Las Vegas. But I didn't know they had fires up north.
Well, the world keeps getting weirder and weirder. You never know what to be surprised by anymore. This year's International Fastener Expo took place out there in Las Vegas, Mandalay Bay, September 9th through the 11th. Very well attended this year, I would say, at least for the opener. And, well, today's topic is the show. So, Don, you're here. You go every year, too. I mean, just overall in summary, before we get to this first package of sound, what was your overall takeaway from this year's Fastener show?
I think it was a good show, typical show. I don't know exactly how the attendance was or the flow, but I would think that it looked pretty busy in the aisles. I don't know that the late afternoon crowd was as busy as a typical show is, but it looked well attended, and a lot of the big movers and shakers were there, so it was good to stay in contact with the majority of that group. I was really looking forward to after watching the amazing match game. I was wondering if they were going to have a Price is Right or one of them shows down there. Didn't know. It's one of my new goals in life is to be on that Fastener match game.
That was a lot of fun out there at the MWFA Fastener Week for sure. And we've got a lot of comments in reaction to that in Vegas this year. So who knows? I'm thinking a redux might be possible at one of these various events. You want to be a panelist or a contestant?
No, I'd rather be a panelist. I liked the funniest part about the whole thing was your little background music. You just got a kick out of it.
That was a lot of fun. All right, let's stay on topic though, guys, because we could talk about that one forever too, and we probably should. We should have a match game reunion show. But this one's covering Vegas, and we've got a lot of sound. Again, the lovely and talented Lynn Dempsey was there, and a lot of highlights to cover. This isn't a comprehensive review of the show, and again, the views and comments expressed on today's episode are purely those of Brian, Eric, and the amazing Shan. So, subject to interpretation and severe criticism as usual. But we had a lot of fun, a lot of highlights. Why don't we jump right into the sound?
Amen, brother.
Yeah.
I'm here with Brian. We're waiting for the show to open. He's going to tell me what his impressions are of the show.
Well, I think it looks like there's a lot of people here, okay? I think
exhibitors.
To me, yeah, exhibitors. Yeah, hasn't opened, so we don't know who's going to be wandering the floor, but there's a lot of companies I think are newer, like ones I haven't seen here before.
Yeah, and when I run around the floor, I'll find out about that.
Right, good, so you will.
Okay, I'm over here at J. LaFranco, and I'm with
Lisa Sanderson.
So what's been the most exciting thing of the show?
Most exciting thing, just meeting all the people that are here. I loved the opening party, the welcome event by the pool. So many people turned out. Lots of different companies hosting cabans. Got to spend some time with the Wi-Fi. We actually joined them. Drinks and just meeting new people.
Did they have the cigar rolling?
They did have the cigar roller, and that was a really nice added thing to the event.
Did you get one?
I may or may not have. But yeah, no, I did. I did get one.
I always get one.
Yeah, why not? Yeah. I did. It was nice to meet them. It's a nice addition. I think it goes with the Vegas style, so it was good.
That's true. And the show?
The show's been fantastic so far. I mean, so busy. It's been great meeting a lot of different people. I'm hearing it's bigger than the last time. A lot of movement. I've been able to walk through it, meet new people, learn some stuff, and been great so far.
Thank you. All right, I'm over here at the session stage, and we just went through walking the tightrope of work-life balance. All right, and I'm here with the monitor, who is?
Zach Williams from Worth Rev Car.
And one of the audience members,
Jake Glaser, here with Sheerex Fastening Solutions.
All right, so how was monitoring?
It was great. I thought that the panel discussion went really well. Our panelists had some really, really great advice and great insight on work-life balance and, you know, what that means to your family and also in your professional career. So I just think it couldn't have gone better.
All right. And it's your second time in monitoring?
Yes, my second time. I moderated last year as well.
Was it easier?
I think it was a little bit easier. It wasn't quite as nervous stepping into it this time.
Sometimes the second time is more nervous because you're like, But
yeah, well, for me, I get nervous right up before it starts. And then as soon as you get going, it kind of just all falls away.
All right. That's good. And you did a very good job
Thank
up
you.
there. All right. So tell me what you learned.
Again, I echo Zach. We had some wonderful panelists up there with Adam Pratt and Taryn, and focusing on the work-life balance. It's the forever, I won't call it a struggle, but it's a forever goal, right? They touched on a lot of key points. What stood out to me was focusing on self-care and ensuring that you are doing what you want to be doing in alignment for your own life goals and taking care of yourself along the way. Understanding who you are and what you're trying to accomplish and seeing how work ties into that plan, I think is very important. And then another key takeaway for me, I do operate as a fully remote employee for our company. So just some of the topic focus specifically around how can you ensure that you are maintaining your relationships when you don't have that in-office FaceTime presence. Just putting intention behind that and making sure that you are really engaging in communication with your teams. It's super important and a good note that I took away.
So if that's a good note, communicating with your teams, how are you doing that? Are you doing that Zoom? Are you doing it, kind of face-to-face, AI face-to-face? How are you doing?
Truly every single communication medium that's available. Text, phone call, email. We utilize Teams as our primary exchange platform. So, a lot of video conferences on Teams, of course. But again, within our organization, we have our primary culture principles that we always refer to and lean back on. And communication is one of them. And ensuring that you are being an effective communicator is mandatory for the success of every single initiative that we have. So just highlighting and focusing on that communication and being a good communicator, very important.
So you're a remote worker most of the time. Now you're here at the IFE. Is it weird talking to people?
Not even close. I am lucky enough to get charged up by seeing my industry family and all of our friends around here. So truly, I can't walk 5 feet without stopping to hug somebody and say hi.
Zach, how about you? Are you working remotely or are you in?
I work on a hybrid schedule, so I usually do a day or two a week from home just because I live far from the office, so it's nice to not have that commute a couple days. But I really enjoy going into the office. You get the camaraderie with, all of your colleagues, and it's kind of nice just to get out of the house and go somewhere and kind of focus on work and then get home. For me, I'm able to compartmentalize and really focus on living my home life at home and not really bringing work into it.
What I've always wondered, and in my day when I was working, there was no remote working, all right? We just didn't have the technology. I was always afraid if I was remote working, I'd all of a sudden say, I better go put that laundry in. I better go do this. Does that happen?
Yes, it does, and that is okay. As we talked about on the panel today, it's flexibility within your rigid routine is okay. There are going to be times where you're going to have to take a child to a doctor's appointment or maybe care for a parent, or maybe you yourself have an activity that you want to partake in the afternoon. And just kind of giving yourself that grace and flexibility to know that you're obviously here to do the best job that you possibly can. And in order to do that, you have to take care of yourself.
Add anything?
if you have that healthy balance, I feel like you're excited to get into the office and get things done. And then at the end of the day, you're excited to go home and kind of, decompress.
Thanks, fellas.
Thank you.
International Fastener Expo 24. I'm walking the halls here, and I run into somebody that I haven't met you in person. It's Larry Stevens. He's the skipper of Worth North America these days. How do you do, sir?
Oh, thank you. It's a pleasure to meet you, Eric. Greetings. I'm enjoying myself. First time ever at this show, and looking forward to going out and meeting some old friends and seeing what's happening out there.
Well, I've been coming to these shows for a long time, and it's good to see Worth has a very nice footprint here. I see your marquee sponsors of the show right up there on the podium. That's nice. Of course, everyone knows that Worth is really solidly behind the Fastener Training Institute. Thanks for all that.
Oh, we really appreciate it, and we love being associated with the Fastener Training Program. And getting out here and having a little bit bigger footprint and doing a little bit more marketing and advertising and getting our names out is one of the things we want to accomplish. And as we move forward in the coming years, we're trying to build our brand and trying to change how we go to market and how we do things. So in the past, Worth bought a lot of small, powerful regional brands, and these companies were very strong in their little regions. But the market's changed, and our customers are changing as well. Those little customers that we were serving so well are being purchased and bought by bigger companies, and they need more of a global footprint. So they need a company that can cover all of the United States as well as the entire world, offering the same systems, the same quality, the same processes, everything the same. Not the same price, of course, but anywhere you go, you should be able to have the exact same feel, look, and taste when you're dealing with Worth Industries. So we're working on that right now. We're got some major projects going on, and we got a lot of exciting stuff, and this is just part of it. Being here and seeing a lot of good old friends and bumping into and starting some new friends here is really exciting, and very happy to be here, and thank you for asking.
Well, I know it's not fair to ask you this. You've only been down, what, you said 2 rows of the show so far? What are your impressions of IFE 24?
We were discussing this. I'm pretty impressed. I like it. It's totally different than the Asian shows. I spent 16 years in China, so I've been to a lot of shows there. They're a lot louder. There's videos playing. There's music playing. Some booths will have ladies dancing.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah. No, they don't do so much of that anymore. They're a lot more politically correct these days than they were 8-9 years ago. But so far it's been pretty fascinating. Seeing a lot of interesting things, and I'm looking forward to touring the rest of it. We had some nice meetings last night. Our teams are meeting with people all day today. So really a lot of fun so far. Really nice.
Yeah, I've seen some Worth guys walking around. It's always good to see. And you mentioned big things coming and big projects. Let me ask you this. We were speaking with Chapman recently about the new Roanoke facility. Sounds exciting. When's it coming online? It's kind of online now, right? Yep. But when's it going to be full force?
Well, we're online right now, and we got equipment on order. Our automation should be arriving within, I think, the next 4 to 6 weeks. We should be getting some stuff. So by first quarter next year, we should be fully up and running, and then we'll be adding more and more to it. So it's going to be a really nice facility. It's a really nice location, beautiful country, and it's a nice location. It's going to allow us to come in and do the things we want to do. It's a perfect building for what we want to accomplish. So it should help us a great deal expand the whole East Coast and do some neat things. And we're doing some stuff up in Brooklyn Park, up in Minneapolis, going to expand up there and do some additional things there. And we're also looking out west here as to where we can go and what we can do. So we want to get our system completely all linked in together and automated as much as possible. Improves the quality, improves the processes and turnaround times and everything that goes with it.
Worth is on the march. Well, we already discussed that we're going to be doing a feature discussion with you. That'll be upcoming on an episode, so that's really cool. It's great to meet you, Larry Stevens.
It's my pleasure. Thank you very much, and I appreciate the time.
I'm here with Robbie, and we're going to talk about that Carmen Vertullo going into the Hall of Fame.
Best choice we made. We sat on the committee, and we looked at all the people that had submitted applications. Carmen, by far, stood out among the rest. It was a unanimous decision. Great guy, great opportunities, great knowledge that he's willing to share with everybody anytime.
Wonderful. I can't say anything more. You want to talk about anything else?
Glad I'm here at the show. It's always good to be here. People are always nice, old friends, and lots of new friends.
All right, that's it from Robbie. Can't say anything else. He's said it all. Thanks, Robbie.
Thank you.
All right, I'm here with Lois Vertullo. So, how do you feel about this award?
I'm quite excited. I think it's something he's worked hard for many, many years, and I'm really just honored to see that he was recognized like this, and I feel it's well-deserved. He's done a great job over many, many years, and it's really good to see it recognized.
And family members should be recognized too, because even though you may not be in the fastener industry, you are in the fastener industry, right?
Well, yes, that's for certain. I'm usually the one that has to make sure that everything gets there when it needs to be there, and kind of the behind-the-scenes person.
And he gave you thanks on his speech there, so that was very good.
Yes, thank you very much.
All right, I'm over here with
Wayne Wishnew, XL Screw.
Jake Davis, BTM Manufacturing.
And we want to talk about the FDI and the forward-looking index, right? The FLI, all right? And Wayne here has gut feelings, being so long in the industry, and Jake's a data guy. So take it away, Jake.
No, as I said a little bit earlier, it matched. The FDI went up to like 54, I think, so it's over 50 in the first time in about 3 or 4 months. And so great news. It matched our distribution model with ISCO Incorporated. Our August numbers were up versus July. But to your point of the FLI, went down. Aspect of it, the forward looking indicator, right? So happy to have that increase. I think it's probably short-lived, but I think everybody was shutdowns, vacation, things like that in July. They come back, they're buying more, they're selling more, thus the jump.
Okay. And what's the gut say?
The gut says, well, first off, I know last year I think I said that I don't listen to the FDI or whatever, but it's a great tool. It's just I kind of go by how I feel and what I hear and customers I talk to, and the general feeling that everybody's slow right now, and they don't see that changing too much in the future. It's an election year. There's a lot of uncertainty, ocean rates, and it's definitely slowed down. Manufacturing slowed down. So I feel that it's going to remain at the way it is. I would say it's slow but steady right now, and I see it continuing at least through the elections, and we'll see what happens once people decide who they're going to vote for.
Is the election really going to impact the business that much? Whoever gets there?
I don't think, ultimately, I think from a tariff standpoint, tax standpoint, it certainly can. I think people just kind of start to button up a little bit just to decide, but ultimately we decide, Americans decide on the business of how it goes. A politician from a policy standpoint can try and set things to either benefit us or hurt us in some ways, but aspect of it is I think people just kind of, like I said, kind of button things up and try and wait to see what happens, and then once a decision is made by the country, then they start to make decisions based on what the country decided. So I think that's how it affects it, but I think it's pretty short-lived in that aspect of it. So.
It's very difficult to plan for the future with these some of the policies on both sides of the aisle. I mean, you have potential lot more taxes through the Democratic Party than on the Republican Party. You have threats of raising tariffs, and I get, certain products there should be tariffs, and so. There's a lot of uncertainty about, capital gains, unrealized gains, or tariffs. So until things are, as Jake said, decided, it's hard for people to grow, plan for the future, buy a lot more product, because you just don't know what policies are going to get passed and what's that going to do to the economy and businesses. And this makes
the aspect of it, we're all inventory is saturated right now. I think everybody was so busy and we all overbought, our customers overbought, and then you have a slowdown, so our customers aren't using the amount of inventory they were using, and we have more, so now you just kind of see that's where, like, the optimist optic side of the FDI for August is fantastic. But you also had multiple months of contraction, right? So, and I think as we get closer to the end of the year, I think we'll dip back into contraction just as we try and sort this all out. But I'm hopeful in Q1 that things will pick back up.
That's kind of what we're hoping the same way. I mean, November, December are generally slow months with the holidays. People don't want to be bringing in a lot of inventory. So maybe the first quarter, January, February, things start to pick up. I'm hopeful. I would like to see that, but we'll see what happens in the coming months.
On a side note, we had a great tour of XL Screw during the Midwest. Thank you very much. It was just absolutely wonderful. It was distressing, though, Jake, because Wayne came out and he couldn't find his glasses, and I understand that you were hiding his glasses.
That he left his office unattended as I was making my way out to head back to the resort, Lincolnshire Resort. So, a little tomfoolery, and I got a text about 5:15 that said, where are my glasses? It wasn't the nicest text.
It wasn't the nicest text. He moved my planter to the middle of my office. He hid my glasses, touched on my pens, which I'm a germaphobe, and I hate that. So yeah, he's not allowed at any more plant tours.
No.
So, have a little fun.
All right, so everybody out there, if Jake comes to tour, be careful. Don't leave your office unmanned.
Lock up the office.
Right, exactly.
Thanks, fellas. Oh, I'm over here with one of our favorites. This is Steve from Easy Lock. And tell me, how many years have you been coming here?
This is my 24th show. 24 years in a row we've done this, and this is a good one this year. 24.
Can you remember your first one?
Oh, gosh, I don't. I mean, I remember coming and, no. That's how old I am now.
Yeah.
It's so long,
I understand.
I don't even remember the first show. So, no, it doesn't stand out. But every year coming in, that was that Paris? It was a long time ago. They used to do it in Paris. I remember that. And now we end up here every year. So it's all been a good show. See the good people and have a good time. So always enjoy it.
So if you added up through your years, all the shows that you've done, besides this one, all the other, how many do you think you have?
Oh, now you're putting the test to me again. Probably 5 or 6 a year over those 24 years, so quite a few.
Yeah, do you have a favorite? Does a favorite show stick out?
Oh, probably this one, right? Because you see a lot of the same people, the friends and familiar faces, and so I would say it would have to be this show for the industry friends and people you get used to seeing.
Thank you.
My pleasure. It's good seeing you.
Susan Chen from IFI team.
And I understand that you took Carmen's class.
That's right. A basics fasteners workshop, which covered all the different products and just like information for each item that's available in the industry.
And so it must have been very informative.
Extremely, yes.
How are you going to bring the information back to work?
Well, to be honest, this was my first workshop and my first day. So I used to go into Home Depot and I think everything kind of looked the same, but I really loved walking out of there and realizing that everything is like made specifically for different kinds of applications and uses in daily life. And I love now being able to like with the images, like understand how they function, like how they exist in the real world. Like things like rivets or things used in like porta potties or in upholstery, like why there are round heads versus flat heads. Like these very little like niche like descriptions. I'm like, oh, it makes sense now in my head.
So the class didn't scare you out of fasteners, the industry?
I think both. I mean, it did scare me, but I think it's because I have a personal relationship with fasteners versus going into like a corporation, having not grown up around it, if that makes sense.
All right. So you've always grown up about it.
Yes, totally. And so it scared me in the sense that I was like having these sort of revelations for these personal things, but like their actual functional existence in the world, if that makes sense. But I found the class very informative and useful, and I felt like it was like a zero to hero situation.
Oh. Yeah. Would you take another?
I would, yeah. Probably, I don't know what other classes are available, but it was a very good intro into the...
And how did you did you know that your teacher was going to be a Hall of Fame in the fastener industry?
I recognized him from the videos, and I mean, he's like a walking dictionary, and you can tell he's like a legend and a wizard just by the information that he knows. So yeah, I mean, I kind of saw him as a bit of a celebrity, but like as the course kept going on.
I like that term, wizard.
Yeah.
I'll have to think about that.
Wizard. Yeah.
Hey, it's time to meet the neighbors, and I'm walking across the aisle, and I'm here with
Jamie Adams with NFDA and PacWest.
So what's happening with either one of those organizations?
Well, NFDA, we have the Executive Summit coming up in San Diego in a few weeks, actually, in October.
That's right. Isn't it Carver Labs is one of the things?
They are. He has a tour at his place happening just before the meeting starts. So pretty exciting stuff.
Any other tours going on that day?
Not that I know of, no. I know they have golf that day, and then we're going to have the welcome reception that evening, and just a lot of good stuff, a lot of good networking.
Do you ever plan anything without golf?
Not really. Maybe if it's in a city that doesn't really have golf courses and no green. But golf is pretty much mandatory.
Okay. Just check it.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. And we're here at Meet the Neighbors, and I cross the aisle. And then right next to the NFDA, we have
the Fastener Training Institute.
With Joe.
Yay, Joe.
How's it going?
It's good. It's been a great show.
What fun things have you done in Vegas?
What did I do in Vegas that was fun this year? I did not gamble. I did go out for a great sushi meal. I've met a lot of new people. I listened to some live music. I have not run into all my friends yet. I mean, look at you and I. We're right across the hall from each other, and we're just now talking. Yeah.
Now, was gambling a problem before?
No, I'm just dumb. Yeah. I'll lose $10. I'll lose $10, and I'm like, okay, I'm out. So yeah, I definitely understand. You have to pay to play, and it's just not.
I've heard a couple gambling stories that they would go on air for that were like, oh.
Yeah, not me. No, I'm good.
All right, we're still meeting the neighbors, and these are our next door neighbors. I'm here with
Lori Roberts with Perfection Chain.
Anthony Byram, Perfection Chain.
And you got some pretty serious chains here.
Yes, we are a domestic manufacturer of weldless chains. We do the double loops, the sash chains, the plumber's chains, as well as single loop.
Where are you out of?
Coleman, Alabama.
I could tell. Yeah. Doing anything fun in Vegas?
I hit the Willy Wonka slot machine this morning. That was kind of exciting.
Oh, that's right. You're one of my gamblers who won.
Yes, I was up 400, and then I put 250 back. So about 150. Not a bad day.
Are you bringing that 150 home, or is it going to go back into Willy Wonka?
There's still time, so it's hard to say.
I'm over here at American Ring, and I'm talking with
Chris Berner.
And Chris is a golfer, and American Ring has this golfing legend. So tell me what happened.
We played very well yesterday and had a lot of fun, and things were clicking for all four of us yesterday.
So what were the scores?
To be honest, I don't recall the final scores from yesterday. Last week was 14 under, where we finished at the Midwest Fastener Association.
So now, do you guys play together only at these kind of events, or do you play together on leisure time also?
We play together on leisure time occasionally. Most of us play fairly regularly, and a couple of guys are members at clubs, so we get in our fair share of golf.
So how long have you been working at American Ring?
I am on year 13 with American Ring.
How about the other guys on the foursome team?
Well, Michael Morrissey is a owner and part of the family business, so he's been in it since he was a child, really. Dan has coming up on about 30 years, I want to say. And Kent Schutte is, I want to say he's going on, about a year 8 now.
So I should be asking Ken if that's an interview question to get a job at American Ring, do you play golf, right?
Possibly. I don't think it's a pre-requirement, but I certainly don't think that it hurts anyone's chances.
All right, so everybody listen to that. If you want a job at American Ring, you better be a golfer. All right, so now I have to ask, because I'm from the Midwest, what happened at Midwest?
We played really well, just got beat that day. Some days you're going to win them, and some days you're not.
I hate to say it, but I think a lot of people were going like, whoop, whoop.
Probably, and fair enough.
It was just pure jealousy because you guys are so hard to beat. And then someone mentioned something about a golf cart flipping over.
Thankfully, not that of American Ring. I don't need that. I don't need that bill coming back home with us. I did not witness any golf carts being flipped this year, but I've seen videos of them being flipped.
Yeah, nobody said American Ring. It's just the oddest thing that I asked someone what the oddest thing was, and they said a golf cart. That I want to clarify that. Don't want to give you a bad rep there. All right. Well, thanks for talking.
I certainly appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by.
I'm here with
John Gaudette from Metric and Multi-Standard.
All right, here's the big question. The big question is, keep it in Vegas or move?
I can't answer that question, but I would be really interested in what Eric and Brian could find out through the industry, because I'm hearing a lot of scuttle from people that it is time to get out of Mandalay Bay and time to go to a different city.
All right. Put the carpet down or no carpet?
That's a tough one. I say no carpet, although people really want the carpet. I see the waste factor, which would just drive up the cost of the show and the material going into the landfill. So I would say the no carpet still.
All right. Keep Brian and Eric or send them away?
We have to keep Brian and Eric. That's the only thing holding this show together.
Thanks, John.
All right. And the great Johnny Reno of Metric and Multi points it out, Bri. We're the only ones keeping the show together these days.
Right.
What do you think, John? What stuck out in your mind?
Well, you're the glue to the whole system. Thank God you keep it all together.
How did this happen? So what was the highlight for you out of that package, Don, or just in general? Where do you want to jump into this year's IVE?
My recommendation, I have some recommendations for the show on what we should and should not do. I could go that route. I do really, the show next year is going to be in September also. And I would like to see that moved back. I mean, it might be the last year at Mandalay Bay, but I'm not sure of that. But I know it's in September, and we should kind of the industry should figure out where we want to be as far as scheduling these events so close to each other. But on the other path is I had the opportunity to actually speak in that fireside chat room, which was promoted a little bit. We got some airtime on LinkedIn, and they tried to promote that as much as possible, but we were in a kind of a bad spot where it put us back in the corner, and I don't know that a lot of people knew that we were even there. So the person from Morgan Rudolph was talking about networking in the segment right in front of me, and it was right around lunchtime, and I really don't feel that they knew that the customer, the people walking the show knew that we were back there. And I talked at 1:30, and it was at least they had some little people coming back from lunch, so that was good. But it would have been nice to have that like in the middle where the presentations for the Hall of Fame and such, that was a little bit more put together. Rather than fireside chats are a nice idea, but they got to tweak that a little bit.
I think it's always the problem, though, with the any of the shows that people who are just walking the show are generally may not read the agenda very carefully, and they don't really know that some of these things are going on.
Well, in that regard, I mean, everybody that goes to the show, whether it be a first timer or somebody that's been there forever, should have some kind of agenda going into it. People they'd like to see, meetings they'd like to. It's very hard to come up with exact times to meet somebody at a booth, only because there are so many distractions and so many stops you make that you lose track of time a little bit. But you should have an agenda, especially a rookie going through. Should have an agenda and trying to meet as many people as you can. And as far as I'm concerned, you're there to set up meetings. You're there to set up appointments for future down the road growth in your company or whatever you want to. Most of the vendors you're doing business with or you would like to do business with, you're not going to get a full audience. You're probably just trying to set up some time so that down the road you can get some in-depth conversation with particular vendors.
Yeah. You can't sit down and have a 1 hour conversation because you've got people walking past the booth and you've got to break off to deal with them if they're interested.
Exactly.
Well, you're a master networker, Don, and I know you know the ropes in that department very well. I will say, though, that if you schedule a time to meet over in the meeting area, which they had a nice area set up with all these tables, and I saw a lot of people utilizing it over the 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
We did that, and if you have the discipline to actually show up there, if you schedule ahead, and there was ample free coffee available, thanks to Jake Davis and BTM Manufacturing largely, but it was pretty good. I mean, we got some business done actually this year, and I was really happy for that. So for us, that was a added bonus, but I think on the whole, what you're saying is right. Well, let's start at the top. Don, what did you think of this year's bash? How was the welcome party?
It was warm. Last year there were long lines at the bar as most people in this industry was there. It was a little bit different than last year. Last year it seemed like they were running around with a lot of appetizers. Not so much with last year they had like people walking around with beer they would hand off or wine samples. This year you had to wait in line, so it was a little bit different. As far as I know, no one actually splashed into the pool. I was offering discounts to anybody that would wind up in the pool, but I needed video.
Wasn't that kind of party?
Yeah, that's not.
I guess they didn't even have lifeguards this year. The fastener industry has been so well behaved the last couple of years, they figured, well, we'll save the money.
Yeah,
right.
It's almost embarrassing.
But apparently the cigar rolling was a very major success again.
Yeah, I saw them passing them out. A couple of my business associates were with me, and I turned around. Next thing you know, they were toking on a cigar. not too much of a cigar guy, but yeah, to each their own.
Is it actually toking on a cigar, Don? Is that what the term?
I'm showing my Cheech and Chong.
Right. I think you are. I'm not sure that's how you would refer to it.
Yeah, puffing. I've heard puffing, chomping.
Right.
All right. We won't dwell on that. It's not a California show after all.
No. Right.
All right. So how about the music volume? Brian and I missed it this year. We need you to sort of fill us in. Was the music volume permissible or would Brian have been upset?
No. It was fine. There was no problems with any of how the systems rolled. The music was fine. You were able to. The thing with music is if you're able to talk in a normal volume and you don't have to scream at somebody so they can hear you, everything was fine there. I had no issues with it. I didn't have any issues last year with it either. I mean, it's done well. I don't know. I don't know if they print the attendance. Some people miss it. Some people don't think it's worth going to. I personally think it's worth going to. It's there's a lot of networking and there's a lot of people that you haven't seen in a while, all in one room and also in a very informal setting. So it makes it good to see longtime friends and hopefully new friends.
Agreed. Those events are very valuable, and for that same reason, we attended the Brighton Best Cocktail Party after day one, and that was again very nicely done.
Yeah,
very generously set up. I enjoyed myself immensely, and even got a chance to hand a gin and tonic to Peggy, which was, you don't get to do that every day. So I was honored to be able to attend and do that. I'd like to thank Brighton Best. We had a ball.
Yeah, and normally we get our invitations. Rosie, the Riveter, sends these out. She never forgets us, and I have to say that the prime rib this year was excellent. Okay. I mean, I'm sure it's good every year, but this year I particularly noticed it.
Yeah, Brighton Best always steps up every year. They make it as good, if not better, than the year before. We should all give a round of applause to the things that they do as a company and they send a lot of people out there.
Yeah, they do.
It's that is always been a staple for years. That after party by Bright and Best.
And next year is going to be a big one, I'm told, because they've got a huge anniversary coming up, 100. Wow. So they're going to pull out all the stops. Who knows what they'll do. So I should have mentioned also that we had our new technology partner, Chris Reddick with Clarity. He joined us out there in Vegas this year, and he's seeing a lot of this stuff for the first time. And he really had a great time at Brighton, met a lot of interesting people.
Yeah.
And I think he was just blown away, really.
Yeah, it's a big room.
Well, for someone in a different industry, he's not in this industry, and he's not used to the fact that you can actually have a whole room of people, largely who are in some form of competition with one another, all sitting down drinking and talking to each other. That is what is the outstanding thing about this industry. And
right.
You see it at the BBI show, but you see it actually with all the people walking around, because a lot of them are the people who have left their booths for 20 minutes to look around. Because I never leave the booth. I'm there from morning till dark.
Well, let's go back to the show floor. That first day, the crush in the morning for us was pretty good. I think it was way better than average. Actually, I'll just say right now in summary, we had the best Vegas show we've probably ever had this year.
Yeah.
Not necessarily because of the attendance overall, but just because so many things were plugged in and going our way, the people we were able to meet and stuff like that. So for us, it was great. But that first day in the location we were at in the 500 aisle, we were in that aisle where everybody was just lingering around all morning. So it was just continuous conversation. So in that pocket, it was wonderful.
Right. Now, I think that the way these shows work is that wherever the door is, that's where people mainly stay. And we happen to be in that row. This is the first time, I would say, ever. But I think that it was, if you were like in 10 aisles away, it took a while for people to get there, I'd say.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, you guys were always in the back.
We were. Yeah, because they had, we have a split personality. They can't work out whether we're Fastener people or media people, and so we get usually put with media, which is quite often the last place that they bother going to. This year, we were with a different set, and it was a really cool place to be. It was very good.
So as Hall of Famers, did you get any discounts getting in there?
Well, we had it all worked out, and everybody, I think, was pretty satisfied with their side of the deal. So, there's give and take that goes on. But our placement this year was perfectly good. I was happy with it. We weren't blocked by a
column. Yeah,
we've column, which is my big nightmare after that 1 year, long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
So anything other than that kind of works for me. And as long as we're on the floor, because face it, I'm never in the booth anyway.
Yeah,
Eric's out walking.
But in terms of the Hall of Fame, let's talk a little bit about it, because that was a big highlight for me this year. Our good friend Carmen Vertullo was inducted, and I think it was a unanimously approved choice. You were at the ceremony, Don. What was your takeaway?
That was long overdue. I mean, I don't know how he hasn't been put in years ago, to be quite honest with you. I mean, he was already an icon, if you will, within the industry. Knowledge alone. I know he's helped me over the years tremendously in anything I've asked him to do. He's very approachable, and as far as the industry is concerned, he's a wealth of knowledge, and he's not afraid to share it with anybody that may ask him questions, regardless of how big or how small you were. Because I remember talking to him when I was just a little kid, and being intimidated by somebody of his nature, and for him to accept any questions and help as much as he could help is refreshing, especially with some smaller people or people that are maybe a little intimidated being rookies in the industry. So no question, it was a dumb question, and he's a wealth of knowledge. He should have been there a long time ago. In fact, when I saw that he was elected, the first thing I thought of was, wasn't he elected like 10 years ago? So,
right.
Congratulations to him.
Yeah.
Well, it was like that young lady said in that sound package we just played. He's a wizard.
Yeah, a wizard. You're right. Yeah.
She was really fun to listen to.
And of course, we have a very close and a very, very good and lucky connection to Carm. And Carm provided our TV screen for our booth, dragged it all the way over from San Diego. And then, we were trying to do it a different way this year. We were thinking of it in a different way, buying a TV set in Las Vegas and then just leaving it in the booth, which Bob G. Kubert assures us is actually the smartest way of doing it.
Yeah, he helped us out a lot this year. That was very kind of him to do that. And he plopped it right down there in our booth. And when we left, we didn't worry about it one bit. So very helpful.
Yeah, it was cool.
I'd say Lynn did a really nice job of being a roving reporter. That's always fun. It's if you don't know a lot of the people, you don't know how to react. If it's a little bit weird when somebody walks up at you with a microphone and gives you, okay, we're going live. There's a little stutter involved.
Yeah, well, there's usual. Actually, the interesting thing was that usually Wayne Wishnew from Excel Screw is usually fairly reticent and trying to hide from the microphone, okay? But she got Wayne and Jake talking, and they had a lot of sort of quite interesting takes on what the FDI and the FLI sort of mean relative to just this moment in time. I thought that was good. But I was very impressed with how long Lynn managed to hold the microphone in front of Wayne, okay?
Yeah, I caught that too. Well, she finally finessed him into the fold.
Yeah, right.
Now, getting back to your comment, Don, you were a little bit of a media hound this year. I saw a clip on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And you were kind of one of the guys in the background. I mean, you were really kind of trying to horn in on that interview there momentarily, but then you passed by. You had that look on your face, sort of amusement.
Well, it wasn't so much that. It was, hey, there's spies everywhere. You got to watch this industry. I was looking like, what's going on here and why am I not involved?
Well, let's get into that then. There are always underlying themes on the show floor. And if there's anyone who's aware of all the fastener subterfuge out there and so forth and unspoken themes, it's you. So what did you pick up?
Me? You know what? I was more looking at getting a feel for what other people thought of where we're headed industry-wise, as far as business is concerned. And the overall comments for me were there was a lot of quoting going on. And same as us, we have a lot of quotes working, but there's a lot of reluctance on pulling triggers as far as placing orders. So I don't know if we're kind of waiting in the lull of the election and seeing what transpires before. But that's I'm hoping that the first quarter of next year is when everything kind of breaks out a little bit.
Well, both Wayne and Jake indicated that the inventories are sitting at high levels generally. And they say that two things going together. One, the end of the year when not a lot of buying is really done. And also the being election time. So it's sort of a slowish time.
My business is a lot of special projects and specialty items and secondary processes. And I think they're unique to specific jobs throughout the country. And I think funding has a lot to do with when they pull the trigger and when they don't.
Yep.
So as soon as some of these jobs get funded, we'll see some movement. I can quote material and jobs now and not see orders for 3 to 4 months, depending on who it may be. So the day-to-day items, the A and B items that are prevalent with the bright and best of the world, and they get a little bit of feel for volumes, are a little bit different for me because I'm more job related and what's being funded and how we can help support VMI customers distributor wise across the country.
Okay,
give us something more juicy, Don. You're always into what's going on. There's a big acquisition on the horizon. Something's brewing. What is it?
Yeah, well, Adam, if there is, I feel like a reporter that has the scoop, but I can't divulge until I get some really good inside guy that says, yeah, it is true.
So really? This sounds pretty cagey.
Yeah, right. I don't know what may develop. It's kind of funny that the whole picture, if you had a snapshot of the show from even 10 years ago to now, it's completely different. So I'm talking to some of the members of the LinFast group and even walking by there, and I go, look, 10 years ago, you were all out to kill each other, and now you're all under one roof. It's just things have changed in that pattern a lot. So,
well, you're definitely tuned into that. You're obviously you're an old Solution Industries guy, and that's part of LinFast Group now. And they didn't really seem to have a very strong presence at all as an individual. I mean, they've rolled that all into one, homogenized the group, and I mean, they're strong and they're looking really good and strong, but it's not the same. You're right.
And as we've all said, kind of the hedge fund business that's involved in our industry, it's a numbers game more than it is a people game. I did a talk on company culture, and I always thought in this industry that talent was the winner. No, regardless, if you get enough talent, you'll win. And I totally disagree with that now. I mean, if you can create a company culture that thrives in this industry, you're gonna roll to the top. The best distributors, very good company culture. In order to have that, you have to be in tune with your employees. I mean, really in tune to your employees. And the hedge fund people, I get the feeling, are not as close to their respective people as I would like. As a small family-owned business company is really into tune to how to grow culture. And again, if you grow culture, you're going to win most battles.
Did you guys see the new version of the Stellfast monkey? Or actually, it's the LinFast monkey now. Did you check it out?
I saw one go by in a backpack, okay?
And
it looked just like a monkey.
Oh, quite an observation.
Well, it didn't used to look like a monkey. It was what we knew as a monkey from Stellfast. But we can't take that because Sydney would just chew it up in like 3 seconds. So we used to bring them back.
Right. I think a lot of folks let their dogs play with those monkeys over the years, Bry. They really enjoyed them.
Right.
I was just impressed with the new look of it, and it matches the new look of LinFast. So a new type of monkey for a new era. And Don, you said everything's different from 10 years ago, and yes, it is. It's a new year. So 2024 International Fastener Expo, that's what we're talking about here. We've got the amazing Don Shan with Fastener Solutions Group. Or is it Fastener's Solution, Don?
It's Fastener Solutions Group.
So do people leave off the S out of solutions? They just call you Fastener Solution, or
you don't want to know what they call me.
Well, I don't want to know what they call me either, actually. But still.
All right. Well, we won't confuse people further, as I'm sure we just did. Let's just say, if you need it, just call the amazing Shan, and he'll get you the stuff you need.
Right.
We're going to cut it right here, and we'll do the news segment now. And we've got Mike McNulty joined by Kirk Zehnder of Earnest. They'll be talking about the FDI. Then we'll roll into Hall of Famer Carmen Vertullo's Fastener Training Minute. Returning with the amazing Shan to talk further about this year's IFE with another giant package of sound for you from right on the show floor. So thanks for listening, everyone. We'll be right back after a quick break.
Yeah.
It's Fully Threaded
Radio.
Once you're in this industry, you're not getting out. Good thing there's Fully Threaded Radio. Talk radio for the fastener industry.
Goebel Fasteners launched our brand new 18-volt lithium-ion cordless battery tools last year, and they have been an industry favorite since. With an affordable price point, user-intuitive design, robust ergonomic construction, and strong pulling force, these tools are best in class. They are proven ideal for demanding assembly, maintenance, general metalworking, and trucking industry applications. Goebel Fasteners, the leading rivet source.
MacGyver, by the looks of that detonator, this whole place is going to blow in just 10 seconds.
Just stay calm, Judy. All we need is a metric fastener manufactured to an ISO or DIN standard.
10 seconds, MacGyver. What about the fastener?
Not a problem. Eurolink specializes in hard-to-find metric fasteners. Delivered. Did you contact the sales team at EurolinkFSS.com like I asked you to last week?
Well, no. I tried other importers, but they couldn't fulfill the quotes.
Oh, Judy, now we're completely screwed. Eurolink. Hard-to-find metric fasteners. Delivered.
Precision, efficiency, durability. J.L. Franco has been a trusted name for the finest lock nuts worldwide and across North America for over 40 years. J.L. Franco keeps projects on track, on time, and on budget, providing self-locking lock nuts and critical bolting components for applications in aerospace, energy, military, rail, mining, industrial, and many other sectors where reliability and high performance are essential. Learn more about J.L. Franco online at www.jlanfranco.com. And don't miss our booth at Fastener Fair USA. J.L. Franco, lock nuts for critical bolted joints.
Hi, this is Tim Roberto Jr. from Star Stainless Screw Company. You're listening to Brian and Eric on Fully Threaded Radio.
And it's the news segment. We got McNulty and Zehnder coming up in just a moment. We're going to keep this one tight, Bri, too, because we spilled over so much with our IFE coverage on this one.
Well, we had good coverage, that's why.
Well, it's fully threaded coverage, semi-comprehensive,
Fastener related.
Semi-fastener related. And of course, the news segment is brought to you by Volt Industrial Plastics, as it has been for many years. Saw Heidi out there in Vegas, of course. She's a fixture at the Vegas show. Didn't get a lot of chance to talk with her, though, this year, Bri. It was just one of those years, we kept passing each other. Did you have a chance to roll by her booth?
No, I did not. And that's the crazy thing. I mean, I sort of didn't have much of a chance to get out. We were so swamped with people on really the most of the first day that I did a run round on the second day, but I missed more people than I tried to see, actually.
Yeah, we talk about how too long the show is sometimes, especially at the ending, but at the same token, you never get to talk to everyone you want to. Anyway, we're here now. Thanks, Volt Industrial Plastics. Also point out the title sponsors of Fully Threaded Radio are Star Stainless, Goebel Fasteners, and Brighton Best International. They were all out there in Vegas too, of course.
Yep.
And we're here now talking about it. One news item I'll drop before we get over to McNulty. The NFDA, that's the National Fastener Distributor Association, is holding their 2024 Executive Summit coming up October 16th through the 18th. That's happening at Lowe's Coronado Bay Resort in San Diego. Now, this is a board of directors style meeting for the early part, and then they have their full boat of content that they roll out. I believe that also includes this year a yacht or some kind of boat cruise around the San Diego Bay. Should be wonderful.
Yeah.
But one of the cool things this year is that Carmen Vertullo of Carver Labs is having an open house ahead of this conference. And then on October 15th, he's sponsoring a fishing trip. Now, this is an offshore affair. I guess he's got several slots open, and he's inviting the industry to jump in with this, not into the ocean.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, jump into the boat.
Right. I was talking to Morgan Wilson, and he's a very accomplished tuna fisherman.
Yeah.
Pacific tuna, I guess that's a huge thing. I would love to try it. I'm on the bubble for this one, folks, so I'm not committed, but I'd like to. I don't know yet at this moment. However, he tells me that this year around October is very likely to be some hot fishing, and Carmen is just raring to go. So he's got some slots open. If you're interested, reach out to him. He's easy to find, or just let us know and we'll pass the message along. NFDA Executive Summit and the Carver Labs Open House happening in October, San Diego. You can't go, Bri.
No, I know. I know.
We got so much stuff that we have been juggling during Fastener Week in Vegas, and I don't think we're going to get cleaned out till Christmas.
Oh, way. That's way past Christmas, let me tell you.
We showed a lot of people what we're working on out there in Vegas, and it's coming to a website near you very soon, folks. So that's going to be a news headline that we'll be covering at length in the near future. But right now, we're going to cover Fastener News. That's with Mike McNulty.
Yeah.
Bride, please do the honors.
So now, for news about screws that you can use, here's Mike McNulty.
Thanks, Brian and Eric. This is Mike McNulty from Fastener Technology International Magazine, bringing you the Fastener News Report, which is sponsored by Volt Industrial Plastics, makers of the world's finest plastic fasteners. In the span of just 5 days, I traveled more than 2,000 miles over 10 different states twice to attend the 2024 edition of the International Fastener Expo in Las Vegas, which was held in oven-like temperatures the day after the opening Sunday of this year's NFL football season, where I watched the Cleveland Browns lay yet another giant and embarrassing egg on national TV. But I am still focused on fasteners and ready to deliver today's Fastener News Report. In this episode, Earnest CEO Kirk Zehnder joins us to reveal the latest results of the Fastener Distributor Index, also known as the FDI. Also in today's broadcast, we have our top story on national machinery, as well as newsmaker headlines from Field, Smalley, Ejot, Endries, Sherricks, Volt, AFC, Suncor Stainless, Blackhawk Industrial, and more. On the back page report, we're going to talk more about the Las Vegas Fastener Show, also known as IFE 2024. We'll get to all of that and the latest FDI results right after this.
There's a reason Volt Industrial Plastics is an industry leader in plastic clip, clamp, and custom fastener manufacturing. With over 100 million parts in stock that can be shipped the same day, Volt has some of the fastest lead times in the industry. Volt can do color. We have the capability of molding over 120 different materials and can color match for specific applications. You need it? We can build it. At Volt, we have state-of-the-art technology to build prototypes to customer specs. And although some companies provide similar products, we offer customer service that's second to none, setting us apart from our competition. And now available, Volt's new light-duty cable clamps. With maximum diameters ranging from 3/16 to a ½ inch, these clamps are ideal for hard-to-reach spaces, electronics, and finish work. They prevent corrosion with metal tubing, and with plastic tubing, they won't bind or warp, preventing leaks while maintaining the flow of liquids. Volt Industrial Plastics, the finest, fastest plastic fasteners in the world. Visit us at voltplastics.com.
Since 1905, Buckeye Fasteners and the Ohio Nut and Bolt Company have been supplying the world with high-quality fasteners. Our standard product lines include weld fasteners, braided weld screws, leg levelers, self-clinching hardware, clevis pins, rivet nuts, and various other fastener lines, allowing us to support virtually all types of industries. BuckeyeFasteners.com. Buckeye Fasteners, more than just weld.
Solution Man, Ken.
Solution Man, you're my fastener hero.
Just doing my job, ma'am.
SOLUTION, SOLUTION. Solution Industry. We are Solution.
Mike McNulty.
The seasonally adjusted Fastener Distributor Index for August 2024 rebounded to 53.8 versus 47.5 in July. This was the highest FDI of 2024. The forward-looking indicator, also known as the FLI, dropped for the second straight month to 47.4 versus 49.6 the previous month. This was the second lowest FLI of 2024. Fastener Distributor Index data is collected and analyzed by the FCH Sourcing Network and Baird. The FDI seeks to identify demand, pricing, and outlook trends within the American fastener distribution industry. To get some insight on these results, we talked to Earnest CEO Kirk Zehnder. Hi, Kirk. Thanks for joining us on the Fastener News Report.
Hello, Mike. Thanks for having me. Appreciate being invited.
You're welcome. It's good to have you back on, and we want to give you a chance to tell the listeners what you think about the latest FDI results.
Wow. Well, I guess I would say the FDI in general is probably not for the the faint of heart, right? I mean, you got to be ready to look at it. We definitely have experienced a lot of what the FDI shows. We are not seeing the huge dip that I saw, but yeah, we're certainly seeing a dip on the sales side. And like just having come back from the Vegas show, heard from most of the market is people are behind where they wanted to be for 24, yet still feeling sort of optimistic about the future.
Yeah, the timing is we're recording 2 days after the close of the show, so it was a good barometer to see what was going on out there. The last time, I'll bring this up, the last time you were on the show was November of 2022, and the FDI was under 50. It was 44.3, and the FLI was about the same as it is now, 47.6. So reflecting back on the last almost 2 years, what's your perspective there?
I will tell you the one thing that I always remind myself is have to remain optimistic if you're going to run a business. So look at that data and say, okay, we're going to use that as one data point. And I'm either running from the facts or just trying to, find a set of alternative data. I'll say data, not facts, to give us a look at some things. So, I mean, some of the things that we're seeing is, things are soft. I think everybody's experiencing that. But the main thing we've noticed is it seems to be the reduction in this frequency of what we call our 10x average. So, anytime we see an order 10 times the average, we note that. And those numbers have come down. But the total number of orders is not as down as much as the large orders, and then the quantities we've also seen down. So it definitely seems like the activity is there. Customers continue to buy. They're just buying smaller quantities and not buying those large quantities that we've seen in the past.
Do you think some of that was like catch up from years past?
I saw the price of saw an article talking about the price of RVs and how you can buy a used RV for 70% below what it sold for, and a new one you can get 30% off. So I think there is some catch up going on. I think a lot of people just that post-pandemic boom when people were just buying everything is what it seemed like. We probably overbought, and maybe we're starting to see the bottom of that. Of course, like I said, optimist. So always got to see that we're at the bottom and heading up.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. There was a lot of catch-up buying, and then, everybody rode the giant waves of back end of 22 and 23, and now it's settled down. It's funny you mentioned the RVs because I go by an RV lot a couple times a week, and it's got a lot of RVs in it.
Yeah. It was listed. I read an article recently, top 10 things people aren't buying like they used to, and RVs was number one. So sorry for anyone in that RV space.
There was an episode a while back where some guy was talking about his adventures with RVs, but that's a digression. So let's get back onto the FDI. My apologies there. Now, the FDI listeners, most regular listeners know that the FDI tracks sales, employment, deliveries, inventories, and pricing. And this time around, every number went up except for employment, which was flat. So those are all. I think that's what contributed to the big jump in the FDI. Any comments there?
We are seeing similar. I think we definitely kind of pull all that data together to try to get an understanding of where things are headed. So I would say we sort of line up with all of those key points. It does look like the leading or the forward-looking indicator certainly matches up with the past indicator. So I'm trusting that it looks like we're coming up out of that. Is that correct? Am I reading that the right way?
The FDI was up, and then the forward-looking indicator actually went down a little bit.
Went down a little bit, but it's been on a trend up for the last year, isn't that right?
Yeah, and this year was looking, it was above 50 in June and in May and in April. So, and then also in January. So it was mostly right around 50, but the last 2 months it's come down, and I don't know what the reason for that is. Maybe people are just scared with the end of the year, or it's setting in the reality that this year's soft.
Could be.
But that lets us jump into the 6-month outlook. That actually moderated or regressed a little bit. This time around, we had 32% of the people expecting business to be better in 6 months, 39% expecting it to be the same, and 29% expecting it to be worse. And the drop there that I'm alluding to is last month you had 39% expecting it to be better, 31% the same, and 31% worse. So it looks like some of the middle of the road people, or some of the positive people, went to the same level. So that's a little bit lower results. What are you expecting in 6 months, which puts us into 2025?
Well, again, Mike, I'm an optimist. So always looking internally at what we're doing and knowing that, hey, this is going to lead us to a better spot. I wish I could forecast it and say, hey, this is exactly what we're going to see. But I can't, and I don't think anyone can. Certainly hearing, again, having the show just wrapped up, a lot of folks do look out and say Q2 of next year, we're thinking it's going to get better. Yes, for those data sources, and nobody has them. Again, optimism reigning on that one, and that's okay with me. Mm-hmm. So we're still very positive about the business and about the market, and don't see anything going away. So we're feeling good about where things will be. But data, it's tough to track.
Yeah, it's tough to track, and there's been smart people on this broadcast before saying it's hard to predict very far out. So I think that's a true statement.
For sure.
The only other data point we have, we also have put on the report here the PMI, Purchasing Managers Index, and that went up in August. It went up to 47.2 versus 46.8 in July, but that was the second worst of the year, or actually, second worst number of 2024. So it went up, in the improved direction, but it's still below 50.
Yeah. And just a little bit below, I think, the low point 6 months or 9 months out. I mean, not much variation in that track.
Yeah.
So
good. All right. Well, let's move on to the comments. The respondent comments for the participants were as mixed as the data was this time. We had the FDI going up and the FLI going down. We saw some strong, some people saw strong incoming orders and had generally positive outlook for the remainder of the year. So the first few comments we have are on the positive side. The first one is, quote, August incoming order rate was better than July, so that was good to see. High hopes for the final 4 months of the year, end quote. And the next comment was similar to that. It said, in spite of several conversations with customers that lean toward pessimism concerning future sales, the orders keep coming in. Good month after month leaves us pleasantly surprised, end quote. And then the final positive one said, this was our best August in terms of sales in our company's 50-year history, end quote. That's pretty good.
That's great. Good for them.
And then on the other hand, here's where the mixed comments come in. We had one comment warned of slowing fourth quarter results. Quote, customers are warning about a slow fourth quarter, end quote. And some other people saw very soft order sales trends this month, said much slower period, sales fell off a cliff. And then the final comment was also on the negative side, more weakening sales activity at this time, slightly weaker than expected, end quote. So all over the place.
And perhaps that's where people are selling. Perhaps it's things they have going on in the business. I think we always see some people have a good time when others are struggling, and sometimes it goes the other way. Never have seen everyone consistently been up, except post-pandemic, or consistently down is what we've seen. So
yeah, so it probably depends what industry you're in, what regions you're in, and all that stuff.
How well your business is running too, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Good. Well, let's go on. Unless you have anything else to add on the FTI or the FLI, we can jump in and you can talk about what's going on at Earnest Machine as well as any news that you have out there.
Yeah, exciting for us, and we had chatted about it just before this. We did something fairly out of the box, which Earnest is known for out of the box thinking. And after years of being seeing our sales and purchasing teams run independently, some seasons really, really well independently, some working really, really close together, decided to try something different, and we combined leadership on that. So we hired Dave Walters to help us with a restructure of our sales and purchasing, bringing those teams together under the leadership of one person. And yes, it's out of the box. Yes, not everybody's doing that. I understand that. But when you look at when we looked at that and said, okay, what happens on the purchasing side? We're building great relationships with suppliers. We're managing our needs. We're communicating with them. We're making sure things are showing up when they need to show up, ready to go, the right thing. And when you look on the sales side, it's very similar. We're having conversations with customers, making sure we have what they need. We're going to be able to deliver it to them the way that they need it. And you look at that and goes, that's really similar. So why do we have these two different teams that don't work together, don't work as closely together as we'd like them to?
Sometimes fight each other.
Yeah, you've seen it. I mean, one point they sit on either sides of the building. So we're giving this a go. Dave's been with us about 3 months, and we're excited about what's going to come of this experiment.
Yeah, so I mean, you get that finger pointing, like, the sales guys or gals will say, we can do this, and then the purchase say, we can't do that. And
exactly.
They got the same person. So his full title is Vice President of Sales and Purchasing, and
That's
he called it a hybrid role. I think it's pretty clever on.
Yep. Looking forward to see what that does.
Yeah, and supply chain is a big deal, especially post pandemic. So I think it's a good approach. Good luck with that, and good luck to Dave. Yeah. So anything else? I did see, I saw you. I don't know. I saw you briefly in Las Vegas, but you were in a kind of a serious conversation. So don't know if you saw me, but
I did. Yes.
What you touched on briefly. Anything else to add with your experience in Vegas?
Vegas was of course always good to connect with each other and learn about what's happening, seeing what's shifted in the market and where there might be some opportunities. One of the places that we've invested in over the last 10 years now is a division of Earnest that does that short run, quick turn manufacturing, reworking existing fasteners, making parts from bar, and we've really enjoyed that business. It's getting better for us. It seems to be growing even during tough times. But I certainly found, people confirming like, yeah, people aren't doing this business like they used to. And there's still a need for it. So while machinists may be retiring and not being replaced at the rate we'd like them to, the market still has a demand. And that was reinforced with everyone I talked to. So we're excited about that business. And it's, like I said, about 10 years old for us. So we're getting to that adolescent stage, just starting to figure it out and make it work. But it's exciting.
Ready
yeah.
for the rise.
Exactly. So it's been good. And we're looking forward to actually making some news or making an announcement about that in the next couple months.
All right. Good. So we'll look forward to hearing that. Anything else going on that you want to share with the listeners?
I mean, we do have a lot going on. When things are a little slower, it gives you time to work, but we have a significant upgrade coming to our e-commerce capabilities. Okay. And I know we've been invested in that for a long time, but we got to that point where the core infrastructure behind what was driving the site was outdated, and putting in a new ERP system 2 years ago, we really stressed that site. So we'll have a new e-commerce site launching at the beginning of the year as well. So long overdue, and excited about the new features it's going to bring.
Yeah, that definitely seems a point of a lot of interest. You could tell that in Vegas too, with some more exhibitors coming into that space than I've noticed in the past.
Yeah, it's good to see.
Yeah, good. Then on the personal side, I know in the past you've been a runner and a biker, and anything new there?
Thanks, Mike. You're forcing me to commit. Yeah, I got my first 50 miler ultra marathon November 23rd. So I'll be in Hagerstown, Maryland. If anybody wants to come carry me to my car, yeah, I'll be doing that. Still running. Great time to think. So that's why I do it.
I recall a lot of hills there in that area.
Good news. The first third is hilly. The last 2/3 are on the towpath. So that's nice and flat.
Towpaths are flat. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So looking forward to that. November 23rd.
Okay. Well, good luck in that. And,
thank you.
So you've got, you got 2 months a little bit over 2 months of training.
That's right.
Very good. All right. Well, as usual, it's good to talk to you. It's good to see you in Vegas, and good to share your insights with the listeners on the FLI and your optimism. And I want to thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for thinking of Earnest, thinking of me, and great to connect with you guys. Best.
Very good. That was Earnest CEO Kirk Zehnder. The FDI number for August 2024 was 53.8 versus 47.5 in July. Visit FDIsurvey.com to participate in the process and get a detailed PDF copy of Baird's monthly analysis. Now for today's top story. I'm driving to the great American city of Tiffin, Ohio on Wednesday, September 18th to help National Machinery LLC celebrate 150 years of making metal forming machinery in the great state of Ohio. The company started out with 10 employees in 1874 in Cleveland, Ohio, with a plan to supply the industry with the very best and latest machinery for making bolts and nuts. 8 years later, it moved to Tiffin, where its world headquarters are located today. National Machinery is recognized all over the globe as a leader in advanced cold forming machinery, process technology, and customer support products and services. Through its continuing research and development, advanced manufacturing capability, and a worldwide network of sales and service locations, National Machinery has firmly established its position as, quote, the world leader in metal forming technology, end quote. It is safe to say that a significant percentage of the fasteners sold and in use each day in the world have probably been made on some type of National machine. To celebrate this incredible milestone, National Machinery organized a full week of events for customers and vendors, as well as for everyone in the Tiffin community and the surrounding areas. I will attend one day of the open house, which includes plant tours, technical seminars, and opportunities to talk with industry experts, as well as time for fun with great food, entertainment, a classic car show, and prize drawings. In addition, a trade show-like environment will be available during the lunch breaks, where visitors can meet with industry professionals to learn more about their products and services. Product booths will be staffed by National Machinery, CTG Ransohoff, Smart Machinery, the Industrial Fastener Institute, Drawing Technologies, Gaudette, and Brand Camp. You can read more about National Machinery in this great milestone in an article authored by Jerry Bupp, National's VP of Sales and Marketing, on pages 64 and 65 of the August and September 2024 issue of Fastener Technology International magazine. Next up, today's Fastener Newsmaker headlines. In corporate news, Field acquired Cascade Nut and Bolt. Smalley launched an online store for wave springs and retaining rings. Prime Source Brands acquired Cobra anchors. EJOT expanded its range of thread forming screws. Endries International acquired Servtronics and opened a new distribution center. Sherrick's Fastening Solutions added Desert Distribution Sales as its sales representative in the Southwest USA. Volt Industrial Plastics expanded its inventory. Link Systems partnered with Ravisa Packaging. Applied Bolt Products was acquired by Powered Grid Components. Montage Partners invested in military fasteners. Hillman acquired Intex DIY. And Bolhoff achieved ISO certification and celebrated 25 years in China. In personnel news, AFC's Industries named Joe Shoemaker VP of Marketing and Chris Lloyd as VP of Operations. Suncor Stainless appointed John Tavares as Senior Regional Account Manager and Elisa Basewicks as Key Account Customer Service Representative. Blackhawk Industrial named Bob Miller GM Fasteners. FastSnap added Spencer Williams and Brett Hoover to its sales team. And Genuine Parts Company announced Jen Hewlett as Executive Vice President and Chief People Officer. You can get details on all of these stories and more in Fastener Technology International magazine and the Fastener News Report monthly newsletter, both available online at fastenertech.com. Now let's turn to the back page and talk some more about the Las Vegas Fastener Show, also known as the IFE 2024. This year's staging of the Industrial Fastener Expo featured over 600 exhibitors and thousands of folks from dozens of countries focused on fasteners and ready to sell and or buy a wide range of predominantly fastener-related products and services. Highlights for me included seeing the exhibits, listening to the experts on the session stage, attending the marketing workshop put on by Rosa Hearn of Brighton Best International and Haley Gibson of Threaded Fasteners, networking at the poolside party, walking all over Mandalay Bay Convention Center and the southern end of the Las Vegas Strip, seeing the half-mast USA flags outside the perimeter of the New York Hotel on September 11, 2024, and checking out several side gatherings, including ones hosted by Brighton Best International, Optimus, and Eric Dudas of Fully Threaded Radio. I can't report on the after-hours party on Tuesday night because it started several hours after my Eastern Standard Zone bedtime. As always seems to be the case in Vegas, there was no shortage of excellent, hospitable, clever, and informative exhibits. In my opinion, Trueform Equipment had the most operational machinery, Patriot Bolt had the best outfits, BTM Manufacturing gave away the freshest and hottest coffee, Worth Industry and Volt handed out the finest notebooks, and Crossroad Distribution Source looked like they had the most fun. On the session side, the Hall of Fame and Young Fastener Professional Award introductions and acceptance speeches for and by Carmen Vertullo and Jake Glaser, respectively, were very well done, as were the two panels I attended. the Walking the Work-Life Balance Tightrope session, and the ASTM F16 Ask the Experts panel. The technical theme talks were well planned and executed by the IFE staff and the speakers, including Andrew Pfeiffer of Attotech USA, Carl Wigington of Matrix Engineering, Anders Green of ALOX, and Cole Wheeler of Boltwise. I also enjoyed unexpected, random, short, and informal first-name-only meetings with a few new Fastener people, including an early morning walk up to the Mandalay Bay Convention Center with Justin from McMaster Carr in Illinois, who was headed to the Fastener Training Institute's Fastener Basics and Beyond workshop, and an afternoon monorail ride with Steve from Quality Fasteners in Texas, who was going to find his colleagues at the New York Casino before heading to the IFE networking party. I don't have actual attendance numbers, but my take is that attendance was decent, and that the vast majority of people were engaged and happy to be in the fastener industry and in Las Vegas at the same time. That being said, my take is that inflation has hit Las Vegas harder than the rest of the country, and I am wondering where all the money comes from to keep Vegas functioning and growing. I heard some talk about potential changes for the long-term future of the show, but in 2025, it's going to be back at Mandalay Bay Convention Center, September 15th to 17th, and Fastener Technology International Magazine will be there and wherever the industry goes in the years to come. Look for our full report on the show, including some excellent images from the IFE 2024 staff in the October-November 2024 issue of Fastener Technology International Magazine. This has been Mike McNulty of Fastener Technology International bringing you the Fastener News Report. Please send your news, pictures, comments, corrections, or complaints to me at mcnulty@fastenertech.com.
This is Jake Davis with BTM Manufacturing, and for over 50 years, we have been a leading manufacturer of bent wire and threaded products, including U-bolts, single and double-end studs, anchor bolts, and many more per-print items. Based in the heart of America, Kansas City, Missouri, BTM supports fully threaded radio because they support our fastener industry. Being a part of FTR is almost as good as a hot cup of industry favorite U-bolt blend coffee. And if you still don't know how good that is, call BTM Manufacturing today and find out for yourself. BTM Manufacturing, commitment to service.
At Worth, status quo isn't an option. Worth is a global supply chain solutions provider of fasteners, MRO, and safety products, along with value-added services like kitting and assembly, 3D printing, and engineering assistance. Find out what Worth can do for you at worthindustry.com.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to the Fastener Training Minute. This is Carmen Vertullo coming to you from Carver Labs in beautiful El Cajon, California, and the Fastener Training Institute. Today's topic is a little bit technical, and it's very exciting to me because I'm going to go into the future and talk about some of the fasteners we might be seeing in the future that we don't have now, using some not new materials, but new for fasteners that will make these fasteners much stronger and allow us to use smaller fasteners or fewer of them in high-stress applications. I just returned from a conference at the Industrial Fasteners Institute in Cleveland, actually Independence, Ohio, near Cleveland. We had a symposium about this new material, actually new to fasteners, not new material, on the 27th, Tuesday of August. It was attended by about 50 people from around the industry, not just researchers who gave presentations, but also manufacturers of fasteners. Some of my clients were there. We had a young man from Stellantis. I think you all know who that is. Very interested in getting this new product into the water for the automotive industry. So when I return, I am going to tell you what we learned at that conference and why I think it's very exciting, and anyone that has an interest in the fasteners of the future should be listening.
King Thanks, Carmen. Hello, everybody. I am Jo Morris with the Fastener Training Institute. We have a ton of fastener training classes to kickstart your summer. First, Carmen and I are currently presenting a brand new live webinar series on fastener basics. This is the class really that absolutely everybody in our industry should watch. If you have new hires, you're cross-training, or you're promoting from within, your team absolutely has to understand the basics of our industry. We just completed parts 1, 2, and 3, so I'll send you the recordings, but please join us for part 4 on June 27th. In this series, we're teaching all about drives, screw threads, platings, coatings, how to call out parts, and a whole bunch more. I mean, we're talking rivets, pins, anchors, everything. Again, these are great for newbies. It's a great refresher course for your entire team. Some other exciting news for the summer is that we are starting our single-day Certified Fastener Specialist courses resuming late summer. We've chatted at length about how great Fastener Training Week is, and it really is, but not everybody has a full week to take off. So we're offering students the ability to take single classes, every class individually, 1 per month, to obtain their Certified Fastener Specialist designation. So we're going to be starting with a full-day class on specs and terms, followed by understanding the bolted joint, dimensional and material specifications, then fastener quality assurance, followed by fastener testing, followed by some tours of some great fastener manufacturing plants and secondary process plant tours. Again, all of our single-day classes are going to be presented in beautiful sunny California. Another reason for all of us to fly out to California. Lastly, mark your calendars for July 26th. We are co-producing a webinar with the Industrial Fasteners Institute on Understanding Galling and Fasteners, presented by Lawrence Klaus. For more information about all of these classes, all of our webinars, and any upcoming events, please visit our website at fastenertraining.com. Now back to Carmen.
Quality products, quality service, quality customers. That's 3Q Inc., a fastener distributor unlike any you've worked with before. With its unique remote managed inventory stocking programs, wide array of secondary service offerings, and wholly owned cold forming capability, 3Q Inc. has been supporting fastener distributors since 2008. 3Q offers a wide range of 100% American-made fasteners, including ITW SEMS lock washers, as well as specialty and imported parts. Give 3Q a call today to discuss your needs and experience 3Q quality for yourself. 3Q Inc. www.3q-inc.com.
Well, welcome back, everybody, to the Fastener Training Minute. Today, we're talking about a material that we have not used in fasteners yet, but we want to use it. It's not Can't-Get-Him from outer space. It's actually steel, the same kinds of steel that we make fasteners from now. And when we make high-strength fasteners, we heat treat them. And the process by which they're heat treated is called quench and temper. It's universal for inch and metric fasteners, grade 5, grade 8, 12.9 socket screws, A574 socket screws, and so on. And basically, we heat the material very hot, red hot, above 1800 degrees, transformation temperature. It goes into a phase called austenite. Then we quench it. That's dump it into oil. Boom. Now it's down to room temperature very quickly. That's called the quench. At that point, the material is extremely hard and brittle. If you drop it on the floor, it might break like glass. Then we temper it back at a certain temperature. And that temperature will determine what the final hardness and strength is. The higher the tempering temperature, the lower the strength and hardness. So we would temper a grade 5 at a higher temperature than a grade 8. We would temper a 12.9 socket screw at a lower temperature than hardly anything. Then we have a tough microstructure called tempered martensite. And we can identify this microstructure with a metallurgical examination. Now, there's another type of microstructure very similar to tempered martensite. It's called the bainite, B-A-I-N-I-T-E, bainite. And this is this new application for fasteners. Now, bainite has been very commonly used in things like gears and other high-strength forgings and castings and machine parts. The heat treatment process for bainite is different. We still heat it up red hot to the transformation temperature into the austenite zone. However, instead of quenching it in oil to room temperature, we quench it in liquid salt, which is very hot, but not near as hot as that original temperature. So we're going to quench it in, I don't know exactly what the temperature is, but let's say 1200 degrees Fahrenheit to 1400 degrees Fahrenheit, put it in the liquid salt for some amount of time, and then we take it out and we let it cool at room temperature. That process is called mar quenching, and it's a very typical heat treatment process for high-strength parts. The result is we get a slightly different microstructure in the material, whereas in tempered martensite, what we see is carbides in the metal, in the steel microstructure are long and oriented, sometimes cross-oriented, and it's not hard to identify tempered martensite. But in bainite, the carbides are more round, not exactly round, but they have a sort of a uniform cross-section, and they are much more evenly distributed throughout the microstructure. The result is we have a higher strength material, much higher strength, as a matter of fact. We'll talk about that in a minute. And more importantly to us than anything is it is less susceptible to hydrogen embrittlement. So for any of you that were counting how long it would take me to say hydrogen embrittlement, that's about 5 minutes in. Now, at our conference, we had speakers that are doing research on this. And one of our biggest problems is how do we know we have bainite? How do we look at the microstructure and see? Because it's not that easy for the untrained human being eye to tell. A trained metallurgist can tell, but it takes a very special amount of experience to know. One of the researchers, a young lady, she is working, I want to say at McGill with Salim, and she has a computer program that will help us look at this microstructure with machine vision and categorize those carbides in terms of their size, their orientation, and their population density, and be able to let the machine tell us that we have tempered martensite or if we have bainite. Now, the proof in the pudding is the extra strength we're going to get out of it, and also the heat treatment process that we followed. As you know, our highest strength fasteners that we would see typically are property class 12.9 in the metric world, 1200 megapascals, or our socketed cap screws in the inch world from ASTM A574, that's 180 KSI. These new materials, we go from 12.9, now we're at 14.9, 16.8. That point, as you know, in the metric world tells us the percentage of the tensile strength that equals the yield strength. So if you can imagine, we have a 16.8 property class now, and the 0.8 is a slightly lower yield strength, but that's also what leads to give us great toughness in the material. So it's a very exciting kind of material, and the people at Stellantis, the automotive world, are very, very keen on finding suppliers to create these new products and make standards for them and get it into the automotive world, which is kind of interesting because up until recently, the automotive world was backing off of all these high-strength materials, 12.9s in particular, because of the risk of hydrogen embrittlement. So now that we have a way around that and some research that's going on, anyone that's not just in the automotive world, but anywhere where high-strength fastening is important, we really are going to be seeing this in the future, where it's the future of fasteners, not just for automotive, but anywhere that we need high-strength fastening. Well, now you know a little bit about bainite. There was a lot more in that conference. I think we'll probably have another one. I'm going to see if I can talk the technical committee, which I'm a member of, the IFI technical committee, which is a brand new committee. This is our first conference, our first project, really. We did a very fine job putting it together. It was a huge success, and hopefully we'll have one in the future. Or, as I was just going to say, I'm going to see if I can get the committee to do a Zoom call for other interested parties that weren't able to attend the conference or who might have some questions about it. I'm sure somebody's going to write a paper about it or a magazine article. Well, thank you for listening. This has been Carmen Vertullo with the Fastener Training Minute, and we'll see you next time.
Hi, this is Robbie Gilchrist with Capital Marketing and Gilchrist Associates. You're listening to Fully Threaded Radio, hosted by Brian and Eric.
Brian and Eric back with you, the online fastener party cabana. We're talking about the International Fastener Expo. This is part 2 of our semi-comprehensive coverage. We got the amazing Shan sitting in with us. Hey, guys.
Hi.
Hello, part 2, semi-comprehensive.
Yeah, this is the party cabana. We had that last year, but we didn't really know what to do with a cabana.
We didn't know what to do with it. Nobody really does. You go in there, you maybe smoke a cigar and have some fun. And
You toke a cigar.
Right. No, you do. Okay.
You always pick up a little education on fully threaded, folks. You just never know what direction it's going to go.
Right.
That's the truth.
That's why it's predominantly fastener related.
Right. Yeah, or whether you can tell anyone else about it.
Well, let's jump right into this second package of sound. We've got another great lineup. The lovely and talented Lynn Dempsey went out there and stuck the mic in front of attendees' faces. You never know who she's going to run into, what people will say, or what she'll ask them. But let's check that out now, and we'll return for a little analysis and further prattle.
Okay.
Here's part 2.
All right, it is day 2 at the IFE, and I love coming early and to hear the quiet. And let's talk about the place that we're in. It looks smaller to me, a smaller ballroom, but it's easier to get to. It's on the south side. Of course, we have our biggies. We have Century Fasteners here. We have Goebel here. We have BBI is here. We have International Fasteners, Beacon, Pacific Bolt, EFC, just walking down the main aisle here, Advanced Components. And everybody's got try to get people into their booth. So there's enticements at the booths. So Pacific Bolt and Fuller, they always set up a bar, which is very cool. International Fasteners has something. Advanced Components, they have games here, and we're balloons and golf. Golf's a biggie here. We have Linfast Group. I mentioned Brighton Best is here in the house. Looks like Beacon is going to be making their Bloody Marys today. So that's always an enticement to come and say hello. And Sequel's got a big booth. We've got WTC that has a dartboard games. Industrial Rivet. MW Components. Continental Arrows here. Edison Manufacturing. Oh, we've got it all. Fry Steel Company. I talked to some of the steel companies. They wouldn't go on record in talking about the almost sale of U.S. steel to Japan. They didn't want to talk about that. One of the enticements at Carmen's thing, Carver, is voting. So you get to vote early. You didn't have to wait until November. Carmen just wants to see what the industry thinks of our 2 presidential candidates. So you're actually voting for that. We've got Ken Foraging again. They're wonderful. They're always sponsoring things, so it's great. Worth has sponsored the education stuff. We have Buckeye Fasteners, Computer Insights here, and Sequels here. You're all here. If you're in the industry, you are here, whether you're walking the floor or whether you have a booth. And then we have the education session spot. We also have the education lounge spot, which is a little bit more closer and informal. We have the Asians here. We have India here. So this show, it has it all. If you want to know somebody from the fastener industry and want to explore all the different companies, this is where you come. All right, I'm here in the hall, and we're early to get into the exhibit hall, and it doesn't open until 8:30, so I cornered
Baron Yarbrough with KT Bolt Manufacturing.
All right, so what do you think? How's the show?
Good. I was getting a little worried. This is the morning of day 2. Day 1, right there around lunchtime, got a little sparse. But, we had a good uptick that in the afternoon, some good conversations. So hopefully day 2 is a good day 2, and it'll make it all worth it.
Do you think the coming out with liquor and all of a sudden the crowd increased was a thing that happened? A little cause?
it makes sure people after lunch, they show back up. That's for sure.
So what's the most exciting thing you've done here in Vegas this trip?
Customer visits. I've been really boring this year. I have not done anything outside of Mandalay Bay. Have not gone outside.
Well, yeah, we went to Delano for dinner, and that was about all we've done too. So
every year I always say I'm going to do something crazy, like go to Fremont and take the zip line or what have you, do a roller coaster, and I end up just going home after the show.
So you think it's time to move the show?
I don't know about that. There's some people that come here because it's in Vegas, and there's some people who come here in spite of it being in Vegas. So I don't know what percent wins out on that argument.
Good answer there, Barry.
Very political answer.
And it's early in the morning, so you're thinking on your feet.
Yes, ma'am.
It's early morning on the second day, and before we open, I happened to run into
Anders Green of ALOX. I'm sneaking around, seeing what's happening.
Yeah. And you gave a lecture yesterday?
I did. They got me up on stage, and that was which hyped technology is suited for distributors in the fastener industry.
Wow. Yeah. How did it go?
It was good. It was like a survey course of many different technologies. We talked about Internet of Things and cloud and AI, all sorts of things. So it was a vast array of topics in a short half-hour session.
Okay, and your one accolade that you gave a good talk was?
well, I had a good time, which is half of my rating for was it a success. But the fellow doing the AV on the side, who was in charge of cameras and production, and he has to sit through all of the presentations. He said, "Hey, that was a good talk," and I was like, "Oh, if that guy thinks though, then it probably came off pretty well."
There you go. Drop the mic.
I respectfully placed the mic on the podium. I'm trying to work with everyone. I'm not trying to make any enemies here.
I needed Josh because my memory goes like this. All right. We're still meeting the neighbors, and here's our other next door neighbor.
Craig Penland with Eurolink. Josh Winkler with Eurolink.
All right, so what fun things have you done in Vegas? Because we've been to lots of these shows.
So we arrived late Sunday afternoon, and Josh and I went to see Kyle Martin's The Piano Man. So half of his show is Billy Joel, and the other half is Elton John. And he sounded just like Billy Joel. I mean, it was a great show. So we did that Sunday night. Monday night, obviously, the welcome party, and it was kind of an early night. And then last night, we went down to Fremont, to Old Vegas, and hung out a little bit and had dinner. And tonight, Kim and I are headed to go see Chris Angel before heading back tomorrow morning.
How was Fremont? I've had other people that's gone to Fremont. What were your impressions?
It was, I believe it's called the Fremont Experience, and it was definitely an experience, that's for sure. It was not really what I expected. Kind of, I'd say it's a little step down from the main strip in Vegas. Different clientele that was out there. I guess maybe that's where it's originally started. It was cool to see the light show and everything, but just not what I was envisioning, to be honest.
Would you go again?
I didn't lose anything there, so no, I don't. I do not. No need to go back. One and done.
How about you?
I'm one and done as well. I'm okay to never go back to Fremont.
All right.
It was one of those you check off on your to-do list, and you're really done. So you don't go back.
Thanks, fellas. All right, I'm still walking around, and I found
Michael Robinson with Linfast Solutions Group.
All right. So what'd you do last night?
Went out, had some dinners, stopped over at Fremont Street, and had a good time with some Fastener friends.
Did you golf?
I did. It was hot. It was extremely hot, and we had a lot of fun, and then the end got really hot, so we happily went back to the hotel to the air conditioning.
Did you do all 18 holes?
We did. We finished all of them, but again, the last 4 or 5 were pretty hot. We were trying to find that shade that was about 3 feet wide from the top of the palm trees to hang out under, so we stayed a little cooler, but there wasn't enough water out there or any type of drink to keep you cool.
Oh, wow. A lot of the golfers have told me that. So what do you think of the show?
So far, so good. I mean, we got the last day here. We're had a lot of good conversations, a lot of good customers, A lot of people swinging by our booth. We have our whole team here, so getting to hang out with some of our colleagues that we don't get to see very often, as well as see all those good customers that are walking the show is real good for us.
And I know you're a avid fan of Fully Threaded Radio. So is there any question you've been dying to want to ask either Brian or Eric?
I would ask them, what was their favorite interview or best conversation that they've had on their, how many episodes?
200 and
over, 200 and something. But what was their best interview or best conversation and favorite episode?
Do you have a favorite episode?
I like them all.
Great answer, Mike.
There we go.
Thanks, Mike.
No, thank you.
All right, I'm here at the show and I'm walking, and I ran into Matt Boyd from Parker Fasteners.
Yes, thank you so much, Lynn. Happy to be here and happy to be on the podcast. And I'm just getting around, but I have a special guest with us, Ellie from Sleep in Heavenly Peace, the local chapter. And I'm very excited to bring her around to all the industry contacts and friends that I have here and introduce Sleep in Heavenly Peace to more people in the industry. And with BTM's help and Parker Fasteners getting on board with the Fastener Bed Challenge, looking to cross that threshold of 1,000 beds built from our fastener industry across the nation.
So that's our Build-A-Bed, in case you didn't know, anybody didn't know that the Heavenly Peace.
Sleep in Heavenly Peace.
Sleep in Heavenly Peace is the formal name. We call it Build-A-Bed.
Yes.
And we just finished Build-A-Bed, so introduce yourself to us.
I'm Ileana Privatera. I'm the delivery coordinator for the Las Vegas chapter of Sleep in Heavenly Peace. We deliver twin-size beds to children ages 3 to 17.
And those are the ones that we build. So hopefully everybody in the Midwest, we just did a big build out at Midwest Fastener. What was the biggest bed build out here?
So at Parker Fasteners, I think our largest has been about 132-ish. And, the key about having a bigger bed build event like we've had is we just get local community partners to sponsor with us. So we've been able to partner with the local church. We've been able to partner with companies like McDonald's and some other big-name companies. We get a pool of resources and people, and it's in our local community. So we'll have 60, 70 team members at Parker come out. And all in all, I think our last bed build, we had 400 people out. And we were able to do 130 beds. And here's the thing, it happened really fast. When you have that many people, that many resources, we were able to not only build, but we also organized a large delivery, and we delivered over 100 beds that morning as well. So it was really just special to serve the local community at Parker Fasteners in Buckeye, Arizona, and all around it's just a huge success. And so I'm just wanting to encourage as many people that you don't have to do it alone. You don't have to raise, a lot of money. You can just get other industry partners or local partners in your market to get together, pool resources, and, put some beds in stock, deliver some beds for some families in need, and really make a difference in your local community.
So if someone wants to get involved, someone's listening to this on Fully Threaded Radio and they want to get involved, who should they be calling?
They should be going to our website, sleepinheavenlypeace.com, and it will actually give you an opportunity to find your local chapter and see how you can help your community. I think one of the best things about this is you're going to donate your time. You can donate money, you can donate resources, but this is going to impact your immediate community. You're not giving into a bucket and not seeing where your efforts went. You're actually helping people you may be shopping next to in your local grocery store.
And I believe the volunteers, if you do volunteer to build a bed, you can also help deliver them.
We love it when they do that. Deliveries are near and dear to my heart, so I think it's important not only to make the beds and build them, but to see the fruits of your labor and see that come full circle. And there's nothing like taking a child literally off the floor on a morning that you come in to deliver a bed, and when you leave, that may be the first bed they've ever owned.
And they get everything. We build the beds, but they get the mattress. Everything is provided, right?
Yes, they get a full bed frame, brand new mattress, brand new bedding, sheets, comforter, and when we walk out, they can sleep on those beds.
All right, come on, everybody. Let's do this.
All right.
All right.
Thank you so much.
All right, guess who I just met in the aisle?
Haley Gibson with Threaded Fasteners. We're doing the marketing workshop. I'm co-hosting the 2-hour workshop with Rosa Hearn from Brighton Best.
All right, and what can we expect from the workshop?
All things marketing. So the first half is going to be for the beginner marketer, kind of getting your feet wet, not really sure where to start, what to do. So we'll go all into the nitty-gritty, the nuts and bolts of what marketing actually is and how you can get started in that. And then the second half, the second hour is going to be kind of really digging into how to up your marketing game. So how to go through for that next level, all of the different things that you can do to build your marketing team from the ground up.
All right, so spontaneous, just on minutes' notice here. What's your best tip for marketing?
To do a website audit. I mean, your website is your 24-hour salesperson. It's the only thing that will work 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days out of the year. So if your website really isn't up to par and really where you want it to be, then you're losing out on a lot.
How else can we find information about marketing?
You can come to our website, threadedfasteners.com, or you can listen to our podcast, The Nuts and Bolts of Leadership, on wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. We were just talking about how we developed the podcast really internally for our teams to kind of help build their leadership skills within Threaded Fasteners. But Billy Duran, our president, and I really decided that a lot of people could learn from what we have to say and what other leaders across the industry and across the country have to say. So it's really digging for those nuggets of wisdom and learning about all things leadership from just fantastic leaders from across the country. So that's the nuts and bolts of leadership wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.
All right, great. All right, I'm over here with
Patrick with Continental Aero.
How long have you been in the industry?
Been in the industry about 11 years, the last 10 with Continental on the importing distribution side.
Sales all the time?
Yes, when I'm allowed to.
You like sales?
I love sales. There's nothing better than helping a customer find a solution.
All right, and what solutions does Continental have?
Well, Continental is a full-line industrial importer for lock nuts. We're known for our purple insert lock nuts. What a lot of people don't think us about for are things like stainless steel and brass solutions, for platings on the nylon inserts, for special patches and packaging programs, for custom labeling. Really, we're trying to be an all-in-one solution provider to our customers.
How's the show been?
The show's been very good. Had a lot of good meetings with some of our key customers.
Thanks for talking.
Thank you.
It took me forever, but I finally came over to
Michael Topoleski with Perigee Manufacturing Company.
All right, and I understand you attended the lecture this morning?
Yes, there was an IFI division meeting this morning at 7 o'clock, and it was well attended, and it was regarding the state of the economy.
And what is our state of economy?
It was very interesting. There were some mixed results, but there's some definite positives in the economy that are not necessarily expressed in what we're hearing on the news. And then you look at the fundamental numbers, the underlying numbers, and they paint a little different picture. And it was a very interesting presentation. A lot of it made sense.
Did he forecast out? Did he talk about future?
He did. No recession pending, according to him, but there's certainly some issues, especially with regard to, obviously, with the debt and certain deficit.
Do you agree with it?
Well, I think it's very helpful to project. As a business owner, you're always looking ahead and seeing, where am I at, where are we going relative to the general economy.
Does the election influence your business that much?
I can't say directly. Certainly policy changes will have an effect, but we really don't know, what they say and what ends up happening can be two very different things. So we'll wait and see.
Thanks for talking, Mike.
Thank you very much.
All right, it's day 2, and I've stopped by All American Threaded Products, and I have
Danielle Mays, Regional Account Manager, and Trisha Gordowski.
How's the show going, ladies?
It's fantastic. It has been extremely busy, extremely exciting. Had conversations with new customers, prospects, existing customers, and new solutions, new products. It's been fantastic.
Does anybody golf here? Did anybody do golfing?
No golf.
No golf?
No golf. I'll drink beer in the beer cart with you, but I don't play golf.
And that's good. That's basically my golf game, too. What else have we been doing here in Vegas?
I have been fully enjoying the world-class restaurant options and walking the Strip. It's a really fun place to walk around. Oh, and the people watching, of course.
I checked out the Sphere, and it lived up to the expectations. I've been hearing about it since last year when it opened, and I went last night, and it was fantastic. Highly recommend.
Great. How many times have you come to Vegas?
This is my 4th year at the IFE, and that's the only reason why I come. But it has been a great experience every time, and it just keeps getting better.
Oh my gosh. 14 years now, 14 years in a row, other than, I think, the COVID year, where it wasn't a show. And it just keeps getting bigger and more familiar faces and new faces, and it's the best Fastener show. It's the Fastener show to come to.
I would agree with that. I mean, everybody's here. There's a lot, and there's a lot to do.
Yeah.
All right.
That's right.
So tell me a little bit about All American Threaded Products.
So we are a master manufacturer and distributor of threaded rod, studs, anchor bolts, U-bolts, and special bends. And we are here launching our brand new Great Rod line that Al Bate had the privilege of talking with Fully Threaded Radio about, and it has been a huge success.
Yeah, we found, there's no one else in the market producing what we're producing and stocking the sizes and lengths and finishes that we have. And so we're excited to have the availability that our distributors need.
You've got a nice looking booth. It's a double, and it's nice looking. Looks like good giveaways. Everyone keeps coming up, getting... It's the color, I think.
The colors, that's what we heard. We have a 5-color highlighter right now. It looks like a little flower, and that has been drawing so many people in, and they have been a huge hit. The last couple years, we haven't had the greatest of giveaways, so this year we planned on it, and it has brought so many people to talk to us. It has been so fantastic, and we're almost out.
Whose idea?
It was definitely a collaboration. We all came together with different ideas on what to have. I'm the highlighter girl, so I was like, you have to have these. And then our marketing director, Connor, came up with the phone stands, and Trisha loved the sunglasses.
Well, it's very popular, so...
It is.
Thanks for letting me talk with you.
It has been such a great conversation. I hope you have a great rest of your show. We are going to just knock the rest of this out of the park.
First for everything.
Yeah.
Gotta love it.
I'm still over here at All American Threaded Products, and I'm talking with
Connor Coldway
in marketing. And I happen to notice that Connor was in the marketing class with Rosa Hearn and Haley Gibson. They were the lecturers. So tell me about the class.
It's an awesome class, really extensive. They went over basic principles as well as advanced fundamentals and really covered a lot of topics while being very focused on the threaded fastener industry.
I noticed I was in there for a little bit, and when Rosa was talking about it takes 10 to 14 touches with a customer before you really have them say, wow, you do that? Yeah. Would you agree?
Oh, absolutely. I think more the better. And if your message is genuine to your company, nobody's ever going to get tired of it because those are your company's values and you want them to see that as much as possible.
What was the strongest point you brought back?
That we just need to stick to our values and market that and communicate it more.
All right. So is there anything you'll go back to the company and try to change, or you think you guys are steady Eddie?
I think we're steady Eddie. I think it's just more of what we're already doing. So organizing those ideas and then pushing those out.
Thanks for talking.
Absolutely.
All right, I'm manning the booth. It's sort of like, where's Brian, where's Eric? I don't know, but guess who stopped by?
Parker Jensen, Atlas Distribution.
And Malcolm Camp, Atlas Distribution.
We don't need Brian and Eric when we have Lynn.
Oh, there you go. This is why he's my favorite. All right. So tell me what you've been doing.
So we got in early Sunday, ready for the Sunday slate of football games. Week 1, lost about every bet possible. I think I'm very good at losing. That's what I found out in Vegas.
Yep. If you want to lose money, bet on the Panthers. That's all I'm going to say. If you guys want to lose money, bet on the Panthers.
All right. So what else have you been doing? That was Sunday.
So Monday we golfed.
Yep. Monday we were out in the hot sun, golfing for 18 holes, having a good time, drinking some warm beer. And
what was your score?
So we shot 9 under, which is, I think it was about halfway the pack. We weren't top 10 or anything like that, but we had a great time, and it was good. Very good.
Malcolm was on the A team.
Yeah.
I was on the B team. and we were horrendous. Talk about losing again. Lost on football, lost on golf. I think, is Eric doing the Busch Light for
you did
highest score? I think I might have had the lowest score.
Okay. Well, you didn't get the Busch Light.
Well, where's my Busch Light, Eric? I'm looking.
Now, if you had to ask Eric or Brian any question in the world, what would that question be?
What do you put Vegemite on?
Oh, I know, but I'll let Brian answer that. Hopefully, would you like Vegemite? I've got some.
I'll pass.
Well, what are you guys doing tonight?
Big dinner, big steak dinner with a valued partner, and then probably going to hit Old Vegas and see if I can start winning. I've done a lot of losing, Lynn. I'm ready to start winning.
All right.
Old Vegas and eat some food tonight and try to win some money for sure. Spend some time together.
What makes Old Vegas old?
I think it was Vegas before this trip was Vegas. It was Frank Sinatra, Rat Pack, gangsters, mobsters. What made Vegas Vegas was Fremont Street.
So is it only what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas only in New Vegas?
I think it's all Vegas. I think it's all Vegas.
It can be applied.
It's up for
It can be applicable anywhere. Yeah.
Thanks for stopping, fellas.
Parker has a very good way of summarizing everything. And I think, though, this year what happened in Vegas is being discussed on this show. So I don't know how accurate he was, but he's a very, very interesting dude. Atlas Distribution. Those guys were out there in full force.
Yeah.
What'd you think, Don, of package 2 with Lynn?
I think Lynn should get a raise.
Oh, well.
She does a good job of trying to hunt down different aspects of the industry, which is always good to hear from different people. I think she had a few people on there that were semi-rookies within the industry, and it was good to see that they were able to network and find real value in what the purpose of the show is all about. So that works really well. I mean, all the veterans we already know hide from Lynn when they see her coming down the aisle.
Yeah, well, there's two really, Wayne Wishnew and Vic from Cambridge. I mean,
yeah, they're good at hightailing it away when they see her coming down the aisle.
Yeah, every now and again, Vic will give in because he knows it's just a matter of time. But actually, no, Lynn does actually make a point of trying to find people who she hasn't seen before to see what they think of it, okay? So I guess that's your thing about rookies.
We didn't mention it at the top of the show, but we had Marcel Goebel open everything up today for us. And he is a very, very smart guy, but he's never really that thrilled to talk on mic either. But Lynn got him this year. And of course, they have such a huge thing going on at Goebel with this new facility they're opening. And of course, that World Riveting Congress coming up. It was good that she got him to talk a little bit. And they had excellent traffic at Goebel this year. They, of course, were front and center with a very nice-looking booth. They have a growing team, and I was very pleased to hear him speak.
I was able to interact with some of them at they did a talk at the fireside chat, and because of the attendance was kind of slow there, we were able to have a little bit of one-on-one time, and I was impressed with the amount of advertisement and support that they have put in throughout the show. Almost everywhere you went, you saw Goebel. From the opening from the pool, they sponsored a lot of that, and certainly you saw signages and everything for what they're trying to get their brand out through the show, which is always good.
Did you slug down a few mugs of U-Bolt blend, Don?
I didn't. I did stop there and ask for some. He had some right on the table, but I did not grab any. I was one of them. Even carrying anything was a pain for me, so I didn't partake in any giveaways. And I think that's how a lot of things have changed. A lot of people don't like carrying a lot of that stuff with them.
Oh, that's not my experience. There's the professional ones who walk past every booth and pick up something, even if they're not the famous but interested in what it is.
Wow.
I see them. They're the ones who I stand in front of the pens. They don't get a chance, okay? I missed one or two. But I went out one morning looking for coffee, and I couldn't really remember where Jake's booth was. And Jason from Jello Franco dragged me over to the BTM booth, which was really only 1 aisle away, and opened up the whole coffee thing.
Jason was looking really sharp this year. He is back in full force. I know Jalen Franco is doing gangbusters up there.
Yeah, they've got a lot of expansion plans, actually.
They do. They're bringing people on, and he was looking, he had the eye of the tiger this year.
It is hard to find. I mean, there's more than a few people that I talk to that finding good people within the industry has been an issue all the way around. I mean, it's even an issue for us. We're always looking for some kind of experience within the industry. They're hard to find, and people give up real quick. Either you get in, like we said this before, but once you get in the industry, after a certain amount of time, you can't usually stay in it. But a lot of people looking for inside help that can't find anybody that's worthwhile. And if not, if you get a young kid and you train them, and you got to figure you're going to train them for a year at least before they have any value or decent value, and they start to get it, and the game slows down a little bit so that they understand where they're at. I'm still learning things every single day, so that tells you how long it takes to get a hold of the industry.
I think also the other problem is that we dealt with last year at the Las Vegas show. There was a fascinating session, which was really how do you attract young people in the industry? And they pointed out that the fastener industry is completely not set up to keep younger people, because the culture that they're looking for is a different sort of culture than what is general in the industry. They're meant to sit in front of their desk in front of a screen and to bang away on a computer, and younger people, they're not into that. That's not how they do. It's not how they do anything.
Yeah, well, when I started in this industry, I didn't even know what culture was. You develop culture with teamwork and wanting to work for the employer that you're working for. And if that's the case, now it's just totally different. But that's okay.
Yeah, it just means we've got to move to change with it, okay?
Yep.
Well, speaking of the youth, we had the Young Fastener Professional of the Year simultaneous with the Hall of Fame, and that was Jake Glaser.
Yeah.
He was in part one of our sound, and Lynn didn't mention that he was the recipient of that award, but that guy's everywhere. He lights up every room he walks into, and I thought that was another excellent choice. But the YFP group is rolled into the NFDA these days. And I know that they're actually doing a lot more with that whole mentor program through the YFP than a lot of people are aware of. And I just actually became aware of it. We're going to have to dig into that a little bit more. I think that's a very good channel for cultivating new talent. And not really sure what the volume of it is right now, but it seems like a pretty worthwhile program. Either you guys have a feel for that at this point?
I don't at all. I know it's been going for a while, but I saw a little thing from the traveling salesman who basically had the list of 30 under 30 that the very first year of 30.
Oh, from like 10 years ago?
Yeah, exactly. And if you look through that, I didn't really check everybody out, but at least half of them, if not more, no longer in the industry. So it's hard to keep them enriched into moving forward. And look, for example, a person you hire that's 25 years old had different needs than that same person who's 30 years old. And the employees that strive in this industry understand that that person has different needs, whether it be marriage, kids, or time away, or, you just have to be in tune to what makes them tick. And that's how you create the culture nowadays. I mean, it's kind of difficult, but 30 under 30, I mean, that was young fastener professionals I think that's a 40 under 40 now.
Right. Yeah. You look around the show floor and you definitely come to that conclusion.
Yeah.
Well, at the, when Lynn and I were at the show in Chicago, we met a woman when we were in the last night of drinks, who was one of these mentors. And she told us that she'd never met the person she was mentoring, and then we saw him walk by. So the guy who runs Solution.
Tim Vath?
Tim.
Yeah.
So we saw Tim and started talking to him, and we asked him about the mentoring, and he was talking about it, and I said, you know that the lady who's mentoring you is actually in the bar at the moment, and he didn't know that. We took him over and introduced him. They had a great session.
Oh, yeah, that's so cool. Yeah, that was when we were visiting Big Bolt on the MWFA tour.
Yeah, it was cool. Very cool. Okay. So it's a program that I think is extremely rewarding for both the mentors and the mentees, as far as I know. Okay.
The mentors will be a perfect fit for anybody in this industry if you get the right people together.
Yeah.
You almost have to put the work in. It's like anything else. If you put the work in and if the mentor is calling his mentee maybe once a month just to see how things are going and things of that nature, what can we help with? It'll help them navigate the world. I mean, they're all a little bit intimidated, a little bit scared. We all had mentors when we were young kids.
Yeah.
And, especially in this industry, we all had guys you looked up forward to and how they controlled the room and how they made presentations. And, it's like the first time I was on fully threaded radio. I was scared to death. Eric is intimidating.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Be afraid, Don.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah. I had a mentor. I had when I was working for an Australian company. He was an American guy, and when I started off, he was actually my boss, and I disliked him intensely when I first was introduced to him because I thought he was like a failed car salesman. As I got to know him and how he managed things, I learned so much from him. I loved him. I would have crawled across broken glass to join him anywhere he went. He was an amazing man.
It's difficult to, as a young person, to ghost somebody just to see how they work the room or work, and it's hard for them to get in and do it themselves. I hate to say this, but in any industry, I'm convinced it takes a while, and that's why you have experience. It's how you get experience, and in this industry, the people that have it are, worthwhile, worth their weight in gold, actually.
Well, we drifted away from the discussion of the IFE, so we may be kind of running out of things to bring up at this point, which is fine. This is turning into kind of a monster show as it is, but I appreciate you guys both jumping in on it. And I think we'll wind up with the major question that we always walk away with. I think it's always a thumbs up, and everybody wishes that the show would close a little earlier on day 2 so we could get the hell out of Dodge. But for whatever reason, they make it go till 4 and everyone leaves at 2 anyway. But I would say that we'll leave it with the proverbial question, should it stay in Vegas or not? But before we do that, Don, what's going on with Fastener Solutions Group?
We're doing a lot of things. We just opened a new branch in PA, so we have a lot of new packaging equipment. We have a lot of new threaders and CNC products, cut, thread, and all under one roof. So we're doing a lot of things. We hired some new talent. We hired some old talent. So we got another 30-year-old experienced guy, and we're ready to rock and roll. We have capacity, a lot of capacity, and it's just a matter of getting our name on the street a little bit more than it is right now. So it's my problem. I'll work on that, and if anybody needs a hold of me, it's Shan at Fastener Solutions with an S group.com, or call Eric. He'll tell you how to get a hold of me.
And what kind of guys should be calling you, Don?
Anybody that's doing specials, secondary process work, material handling. If you have to handle any material at all and you want to buy your material complete, you need to be calling me. So it's a lot simpler if you have a part that's going to say, for example, plated and patched. You have a lot of soft costs in there that go unnoticed. You could buy material from me, you get it complete. One invoice, one packing slip, one inspection. It's all complete with a quality inspection package, and it makes life easier for any fastener distributor that has a VMI related account, or any other distributor that has one-off specials that need help with rather being reworked or plated, or anything that's of a material handling special. Anything packaged, anything polybagged is another added feature. So literally you can buy your product no matter what you may need from A to Z, and you won't have an issue at all.
All right, so we just got out of the elevator with the amazing Shan. Pack that one away for when you need it, folks.
Right.
And we're going to now go to the main question that everyone wants to know. Where do you stand on the Vegas or no Vegas question? Do we move out? And if so, where does it go? We don't need to spend hours on this. Just a quick take. Where do you come down?
My take is Rosemont, Chicago, perfect. It's got the space. It's got more than enough room. It'll be cheaper. It's in the middle of the country. It's a no-brainer if you ask me.
Okay. I like that. Right? Direct to the point.
All right. I'm going to be more wishy-washy.
Okay.
I don't like Las Vegas. I think it's just sleazy. And so I'd prefer to be anywhere else, but I don't quite know where. But I guess it has to be somewhere near California for those people.
Okay, yeah, that was pretty wishy-washy, Brian, but duly noted.
All right.
We know Vegas isn't your cup of tea necessarily,
it is not.
But until you come up with some good, likely alternative, we can't really accept. Our judges can't really accept your answer.
Look, it's too bloody expensive. The hotels and everything's too expensive.
Well, I think that's the drawback right now that everybody realizes. However, again, because of all the other trade-offs, you have to say something for momentum, and you have to say something for tradition, and you cannot deny that Vegas is well set up to accommodate large groups of people. There's an exciting atmosphere. There's a lot of draws there. Sure, things can be done differently. I have to come down on keep it in Vegas, and that's a reluctant keep it in Vegas because I'm not fond of the city either. But it does offer so much. I think that momentum's worth a lot, and I'd love to see it go somewhere other than Mandalay, though. I think the costs are going to catch up with you eventually anywhere you go. I mean, there are cheaper places, but again, the trade-off is the momentum and also the ability of a wide range of people from across the country to get to it. So that's where I come down. We could talk about it forever.
Yeah, I know. There's no great solution.
I would like to see a show go to Columbus at some point, though. I don't know who would do it, but it would be great.
Yeah, yep, I would too. That'd be awesome.
I told the Emerald team about that, but in the final analysis, I think I got to stick with Vegas, sadly.
Yeah, you make a good point in some instances. I think tradition alone is worth something, but I'll tell you, the Rosemont group there, and that you got the space and any other, you got people hanging around more together, kind of like out of the Columbus show way back then when everybody was in the same place. And it was a big networking pool, and you don't really get that aspect in Vegas.
No, you don't. Well, that's where someone has to roll up their sleeves and figure that part of it out because people need something to congregate around. And I don't have that answer, but I will say that I'm also a huge fan of Rosemont. Those early Fastener Tech shows rocked. They were great. I wish something like that would come back. And I know Fastener Fair's in the mix now, so that's the big, stalking horse behind this whole thing too. So a lot of stuff going on. Our show, actually, my biggest complaint, and I think a lot of people share this, is the timing because September is just not right. And everyone knows it, but there's only so much Emerald can do because, as I understand it, they've gotten forced out of the preferred time slot by these Grand Prix races in Vegas, which blow out the whole city.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
they must make a lot of money on that because it really stymies everything.
Right. Well, one way or another, we're going to be there next year, and it's another one in the can. So, Don, I appreciate you coming on here with us and
thanks for
giving
having
us a little bit of your perspective. It's always appreciated and valued.
Yeah, it is.
All right, we'll see you guys soon, I'm sure.
All right, the amazing Shan. We're going to cut to a quick break, folks. Then Brian and I will be back to put this one in the can. It's fully threaded. Thanks so much for listening. Talk to you in just a moment.
Star Stainless domestic products are made with domestic materials, reinforcing our dedication to supporting American manufacturing. Find what you need today at starstainless.com.
Are you tired of empty promises from software vendors? Are you paying for support that you're not receiving? Is it time for another paid upgrade? There is a solution. InSequel delivers quality software designed for the fastener industry at an affordable price with industry-leading support. Quality software, affordable pricing, industry-leading support. Only InSequel can deliver all three. www.inxsql.com.
Brighton Best International is excited to introduce Proferred cement screws, finished with a special coating for corrosion resistance, featuring a patented posi drive with anti-cam out ribs. These screws ensure a strong and secure bit engagement. Ready to experience the Proferred difference? Give our cement screws a try and discover how they perform. Explore our cement screws for added durability. Also available, stainless steel decking screws. For more information, visit preferredscrews.com or contact your personalized pro for more details.
Brian and Eric aren't just the best at what they do, they're the only ones that do what they do. This is Carmen. Now it's back to Fully Threaded Radio.
Just before we sign off, I want to go back and cover one thing that I sort of didn't really get, I guess, a chance to cover. It was relative to the first set of Lynn's interviews.
Okay.
And it was Liz interviewed a couple of guys after the very first session on the first day. And it was a session...
Oh, the tightrope.
Yeah, walking the tightrope when the work-life balance.
Right.
And it was really very interesting. She interviewed Zach Williams from Worth Revcar and Jake Glaser from ShareX. And I think it was Zach who was the moderator. But it was really quite an interesting discussion. And they sort of talked about the differences, the different methods that companies use to try and keep people in sync and in connection with each other, mainly in the new world of having people working from home some of the times. And the comments sort of came down on the side of you have to go back and meet these people occasionally, okay? You need the online only doesn't quite do it. I just thought it was a very interesting set of questions and a very good set of answers that these two guys gave, okay?
Well, these are two youthful voices of the fastener industry, and it's pretty obvious that they're very comfortable with this hybrid style approach where they're in the office some of the time and they acknowledge the need to be there, but they also see the flexibility and working from home is a very big part of their work experience.
Yeah.
So it's a new way of thinking about things for sure.
Right, and one of the questions was, well, what do you do when he says, oh, well, sometimes I'm at home working and I think, I've got to do the washing. And I think it was Jake said, hey, this is life, okay? It's as important as other things are that you do for work. You just have to work out how to put them all together.
I think quietly, many people, especially people who grew up before this became regularly accepted, are thinking to themselves, this all works well as long as you're dealing with highly motivated, responsible people, because it's a system that is subject to very, very severe abuse by some people, and obviously Zach and Jake are not those kinds of guys. They're hard-charging people.
Oh, yeah, I know. So they're the exact people who fit this perfectly. But it was a very interesting set of comments, actually. I just should have put it in when we were talking about the first set of recordings.
Yeah. No, perfect. Perfect way to wind down this episode of Fully Threaded Radio, folks. And we really spilled over on the coverage for International Fastener Expo, but we felt like going wall to wall was the way to go on this one. No carpeting reference intended, of course. So we'll thank the amazing Don Shan, for sitting in with us to talk predominantly about that, as well as Mike McNulty and Kirk Zehnder, who aired out the latest FDI. Again, a pretty intriguing set of numbers that came out last month.
Yeah.
And of course, Hall of Famer Carmen Vertullo had the Fastener Training Minute. Thanks one and all. Oh, let's not forget the lovely and talented Lynn Dempsey too, Bri. She did an amazing job this year out in Vegas. We had a couple of experiences where technical issues prevented us from doing a lot with the show interviews, but this time looks like we got everything smoothed out, I'm happy to say. Thanks so much to everybody who put their voice down on Lynn's mic.
And others who didn't get a chance, because I was with Lynn when she was texting backwards and forwards with Morgan trying to get an interview with him, but they could never make a time that worked for both of them.
Right. As always, there are several people who we try to get on. We just can't make it happen, and we can't use all the material either. But I think the stuff we ran with was pretty representative, and I'm pretty happy with it.
Yep.
The title sponsors of Fully Threaded Radio are Brighton Best International. Tested, tried, true. Brighton Best. Goebel Fasteners. Quality the first time. Go Goebel. And Star Stainless Screw Company. Right off the shelf, it's Star. Fully Threaded is also sponsored by Buckeye Fasteners, BTM Manufacturing, Eurolink Fastener Supply Service, Fastener Technology International, InSequel Software, J-Lan Franco, Solution Industries, 3Q Inc., Volt Industrial Plastics, and Worth Industry North America. Worth, of course, was a major sponsor of this year's International Fastener Expo, and they're a huge part of the Fastener Training Institute also. So it's good to have them on the team. Reach out to us anytime. The email address is ftr@fullythreaded.com, and we're always excited to hear what you think of the podcast.
And I want to also say we're always thankful that we're teamed up next to our buddies from Eurolink, because in the quiet moments I can get to talk to them about various standards that are metric standards that I'm not that sure of.
Yeah, and they were right next to us in Vegas, and it's just like on this episode, we didn't really talk to them very much at all while we were on the floor. So I'm glad we got Craig included in that sound.
Yeah.
Because Eurolink is and has been a very strong supporter of the podcast too, so thanks for mentioning it.
Yes.
And thanks also to all of you for listening in to Fully Threaded Radio. We received a lot of support at this year's Vegas. I said it before, in many ways, this was the best one we ever attended. I think overall the show gets a thumbs up from us, and we'll look forward to seeing you at the next one.
Yeah.
We'll also look forward to seeing you, or at least speaking to you, on the next episode of Fully Threaded Radio. Thanks so much for listening to this one, everyone.
All right.
Ready for a little off-the-road time, Bri?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. I am. Yeah, my off-the-road time is not sitting back in a beach chair. It's building a new pathway around the garden.
That's right. And building other things as well.
Yeah.
We got a lot to talk about, folks, coming up with FCH. Big stuff. And we're going to look forward to that on future episodes. So with that, we'll put this one in the can. For Brian Musker, this is Eric Dudas. Get out there, sell some screws, and we'll talk to you next time.
So long, folks. See you next time.
Fully Threaded Radio is a production of Fastener's Clearinghouse. Music provided by Audionautics. We have someone here that listens to Fully Threaded Radio. I'm with
Mike McNulty from Fastener Technology International.
And you listen to Fully Threaded?
Every month.